almost feels like the start of a new season. Almost feels like everything's brand new. That anything is possible. It's exciting, isn't it?
Impossible is nothing.
Everything is everything, and nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
Words to live by. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. It's a Monday. The first week of the regular season of the National Hockey League. Baseball playoffs are in full swing. In the NFL, major questions about the Steelers and Bills, so you know we're in it. People are panicking. There's full panic. We'll check the jackometer a little bit later on.
We've got some puckered hoops, Dean, in the NFL.
Yeah, and Pinder's back.
Buddies,
so I guess
how
we
doing?
can. I guess we can start.
I feel like you didn't stop when I was gone. So.
Oh, we were killing it.
Never
I
stops.
heard,
Yeah,
yeah.
never stop.
That mustache was looking deadly, but you just got all lazy on us.
What do you mean?
Well, you can't pull over someone and ask for license and registration with that kind of stubble going on.
Tighten it up a little.
Is it to the point now that the comments have slowed down? Are people used to it now, or is it still?
No, I got a text this morning from them.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What was her name?
Sean.
Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Sean was liking it.
Sean.
If you're watching on the YouTubes, you can probably tell we've got a new setup. We've got a bit of a new arrangement here.
Yeah, I was in here all weekend.
Yeah, you were grinding away. Appreciate that, by the way. So it's going to be, because we've got some
Sit
different
still, just like in
shots
school,
and
Dean. Sit yours.
Swinging
just
around.
sit down, but we'll get into it. So I guess I don't want a sports show. Tell us about your trip
Oh, it's great. We're there for a wedding. There's a wedding, eh?
in Australia.
It's a wedding. My wife's cousin got married, and she's awesome. She was here when we were pregnant with kids and had little tiny weasels. So we go way back. And it was a beautiful wedding on the ocean with whales jumping in the background. And then we hung out on the beach for a while, and now we're home.
What was the whale's name?
They were swimming, didn't get a name.
Yeah.
Saw some fins and tails.
Right.
Some big
lot of tail.
splashes.
A lot of sharks.
A lot of tail. Yeah.
Didn't see any sharks, Dean.
Sharks, gators, snakes.
No snakes, no spiders.
So everything that we've learned on the Pinder Report's bullshit then, because anything, it's like, yeah, down in Australia, it's gators and snakes. And
Last time I was there, we had a carpet python sitting on a nest with like 12 eggs in the driveway, and they're happy about that.
Yeah.
They didn't get rid of it. They're like, sweet, that'll get rid of whatever's in the rafters. You're like, you want snakes in the rafters? All right. But this time, no, it was pretty dull. We saw some wallabies in the
You
backyard.
never fought a beast of any sort?
No kangaroos fighting.
spiders.
What about a jellyfish
spiders.
bite?
No jellyfish.
Is it true you're supposed to pee on those?
I don't know.
I've heard that. That was a Friends episode, wasn't it? You got stage
No,
fright.
Seinfeld, wasn't it?
Seinfeld?
No,
I thought it
friend.
was Friends.
Might have been Friends. Feels just like it's one of those things. If you got a weird fetish, it's like, I should probably pee on that.
Probably just want to
Are you a doctor?
pee
No,
on something.
no, not at all.
I've studied it.
Yeah.
I saw it on the internet once. I'm going to have to pee all over you.
That's right.
It's
That's
life and
right.
death. You're welcome.
I'm very excited to hear from Jack.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's been an interesting week, Ryan. We don't.
Yeah,
There's some things
off
we
air.
don't need to
Off air.
get into. But when you left, there's the Jackometer, and if you haven't watched the Jackometer, Jack's big Steelers fan, and it's the roller coaster effect that it has for him as
That's why we invented this.
as a fan. And through 3 weeks, things were going great.
3-0.
Oh.
So great.
Steady.
And since then, there's been a pair of losses, and it was a steep drop. So was it already at an 8 when you left? I'm trying to remember because
Yes.
Yeah, I had left the day before they lost to Indianapolis.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, it's changed a little bit. So
It's
we'll
all
look
right,
at the Jackometer.
I guess it would have been the week before that. But yeah, and this is why we did it, because last year we got to see the excitement, the send Matt Canada to the moon, and then finally he turned on Kenny Pickett after proclaiming him the greatest football player of all time in the preseason. We built the Jackometer because you need to feel this roller coaster ride and the incredible G-forces it has as he swings from positivity to negativity about his favorite team.
I had a kill on site for Canada in when I was in Pittsburgh.
That's right. You had to
take him out.
That's right.
Have you seen Canada?
Yeah. It was
right.
crazy. You forget all that from last year.
Yeah.
But already 5 weeks in, I told Jack when they were 3-0, they hadn't beaten anyone good and they're frauds, and he was livid. And 2 weeks later, I feel he's probably closer to where I'm at.
and Jack
Have they played a playoff team? Like, here's the thing. They did a good job beating teams I don't think are good, and then they lost 2 teams I don't know if they're good either. And I still don't know if they play the playoff team.
Wait a minute. This is really leave poor Jack alone. Jack is fine.
This is part of the experience, though, because these are all the things he's thinking about.
Jack could use some kindness.
Yeah, we're gonna have.
Yeah.
About it. How are you, Jack? Good to see you.
I'm doing all right.
Had a
Good
good
weekend?
weekend, Jack. Other than the one thing.
You all right?
It's a bit of a long weekend.
Yeah.
How many hours were we in here for, by the way?
Well, 12.
12.
Saturday. Yeah.
Jeez.
It was a
Yeah,
long
at
day.
least. At least.
Late, but we got here early, so
That's right.
You weren't here.
I drove by.
No, you didn't.
Yep.
Did you?
Mm.
No,
That's
you
even worse.
didn't. So
I wasn't invited.
we'll get into it. The Flames, what is it, by 3 p.m. today, 1 p.m., whatever it is, they got to get down to their roster size,
Whole NHL. We start tomorrow,
be
boys.
cap compliant, which was
Yeah.
never really a big issue this year.
That's not going to be an issue.
They got space.
Lots
20
of
million.
space.
Oh,
So,
good.
Yeah, lots of
They could
space.
sign it. Bring Connor in. They got all the room. Once he up.
Dry side.
Could easily squeeze a dry
Should've
settle in
got
here.
dry
Yeah,
side.
they got room for it.
When you get-
But depending on whichever kind of Flames fan you talk to today, there's a couple pieces. It seems like bad news.
Good news, bad
There's
news.
one piece of bad news, and there's another piece that I don't know how to feel about.
Well, we'll start with the what we do know. Yegor Sharangovich was injured in the final preseason game. Preseason's too damn long. See, we talked about it last week. It's too long.
Late.
You'll see it here, kind of at the top of the screen. The boards, he gets tangled up, falls to the ice, and that
It looks pretty innocent, but then does the guy fall on his ankle there? 'Cause
Yeah,
if that's
I mean,
the
it's
case, that's not good.
that right leg gets folded up underneath.
Yeah,
They got skates on too, eh? Blades
right?
sharp, digging into the ice. It's one of those things.
catchy.
that sounds dangerous. I don't know. You can stick with that.
You can go with it. Again, we'll pee on it. We'll be fine. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
good. Yeah,
But if you were hoping for the best, it sounds like that's not going to come our way. The Flames have announced it's week to week on the IR for Yegor Sharangovich.
Yeah, but it's maybe not the worst.
week to week.
I was gonna say it depends on your outlook here. If you're really like, have we got the expression for the first overall kid this year? Flailing
Not
for
yet, no.
Hagens or
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know, like
I don't know.
lame for James. Like they got to make something up. But maybe if you're in that camp, this is great news. It's a
Lower
potential
body.
30 goal guy that you don't have to worry about scoring goals for your team on Team Tank.
I guess.
But no, I'm with you. I think there's been a lot of excitement about the preseason, and this was a guy that just signed a new contract, and I would think people were keen on watching Sharangovich play this year. He's a fun player. He looks like he's been back to the wing for much of the preseason, where we think he'd be his best. Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Not the best.
And again, until we're well into the season and we want to be poopy pants, we'll have a little bit of positivity. This is not a good story. Even if you
No.
are Team Tank,
No, for
you
sure.
don't need
Yeah.
Sharangovich to have a lower body injury at the
Yeah.
start of the season.
I'd like them to lose 1-goal games with Yegor Sharangovich.
Sure,
right?
He can be part of it. Builds morale.
It's week to week. Let's hope do the Aaron Rodgers. Go somewhere weird and get it fixed and come back.
Ayahuasca and some.
Ibogaine is the one I've heard about.
Is
now.
it?
So do mescaline
Ibogaine,
and
yeah.
walk through a cacti desert.
Yeah.
And what is it? A week in the darkness and no sound?
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Feels like a year. There was a guy I saw that did some weird shit, and
Yeah.
he said he lived a whole different life.
Well, I watched that-
He was out for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I watched that Jets game yesterday. I think Rogers is ready to go back in the darkness.
He's happy to.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think he could probably use a little more of
He
whatever it
needs
was.
That
Does he always leave the field that way, all fours, slowly?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So I mean, that's the one piece that we know. So it's going to be an extended period here without Sharangovich. Now the other thing, and people are going to be watching this morning and waiting to see. We talked about it almost ad nauseum last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jacob Pelche. Has he been good enough to make the team? If he's good enough to make the team, put him on the team. If he's not good enough, then what are you going to do with him? Well, he's going to have the one thing is he's going to have to clear waivers to send him down. And you can't put him on waivers because someone's going to pick him up. So that gives Jacob Pelche a bit of an advantage. That gives him an edge over some of these other kids who don't need waivers to go down. And Conroy and Iginla and Huskisson, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You think you know what you're talking about, but you
waivers,
don't know.
schmavers.
Yeah.
They lost Yusuf Alamaki for nothing. They'll never do this again. It's a bad asset management. Connie's in charge now.
You got a guy that's
And-
dialed in.
And look, maybe they've done the straw poll around the league and they have an understanding that and a belief that he'll get through. But when you start looking at who's around and who's left and who wasn't placed on waivers and who you might be keeping when your 2019 first round selection does go over waivers, It feels like a risky little game. Now they do have lots of wingers in the system, but they believe Jacob Pelche can be a good NHLer. And if other teams feel the same way, he's young. He was drafted because of an incredible pedigree in the first round. And he's a guy that costs no money. It's not like, well, we can't squeeze him in. Like, teams would love guys that can contribute for less than $1 million. That's literally his contract. So it's a dangerous game they're playing, but it could be the best case scenario for the Flames if he does get through, because I don't know how you start getting him in this lineup. He's just going to be eating popcorn with the way that he's been outplayed by Hanzik. He doesn't play the middle, which probably breaks a tie with Rooney. He doesn't do what Lomberg and Klapka do in terms of what I think they want the identity of their fourth line to be. So, if they can dodge the bullet, this is probably developmentally what's best for Jacob Pelche. He needs to go play in the A and dominate. The challenge is someone else might say, this is my chance to get a first
12
round.
months ago, you had him penciled in and he was going to contribute up here. Why is back to the minors?
Well, I mean, you guys watched preseason. Was he one of their best 12 forwards?
No.
So then that's why.
Like, that's the thing. On merit, he does not deserve to be in that top group for sure. And I guess, is this a sign as to maybe what the Flames really think? Like, they think he could be an NHLer. Okay, but to what degree? They're clearly not. They don't have such a.
It feels like they're throwing the towel.
They don't have such a bone on for him that they're afraid to lose him.
They
put him
also
on
just
waivers.
have a lot of bottom six winger options, right?
Which is sad. Then, if that's what he is, then stop thinking he's a first round pick.
That's the thing. I think. Well, I think they see him at this point as a guy who can.
Well, you can't say you can't say on one hand he's bottom six, but he's still that's not why you drafted him in the first round.
There's lots of good third rounders that are picked in the first round. I don't think it's what you dream
into it. It's not. You're not risking. You're not going. When you pick a first rounder, you're not losing a bottom six forward. So you know what I mean? When you trade a first round pick, you don't think you're trading a bottom six forward.
I just think like where he was picked, and sometimes we just lump it all together. If he's a top 10 pick, this is massively disappointing. If you're picked in the mid 20s, Blake Coleman's a pretty good ceiling for him, and that's a third liner. Zary was mid 20s. Yeah,
so, Pelche is supposed to be that at least. Yes, he is.
I mean, it's different players, but yeah. Like, and so what's Zary on a contending team? A third liner?
No,
he's not tracking the top six on a lot of teams in this league right now.
Played pretty damn well last year.
I like him a lot. I think he's a good player, but he might be just a really, really good third liner. Like, he's going to play with Backlund Coleman this year. That's a third line. Am I wrong?
He's a second year guy.
Right. But so in a year from now, if Pelche was there, would you be upset?
What, 5 years in, 2019 draft, isn't that what?
Yeah, so he's what, 23-ish? Done on the birthday.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
time.
You're well into knowing
it's
what
odd,
the
though,
player
because a year ago he had a good
great camp. If last year didn't transpire, I don't think we're here. And that's part of him becoming a good NHL is having to get over the last 12 months because it was dog shit. Like, he had a great camp and he got hurt. He came back, got hurt. Then he played tentative, and then he had a just okay camp where he probably makes this team if not for, Coronado comes out of the gates flying. Hanzik, you guys were telling me this guy was the bust and he couldn't be Zary before I left. And now he's the star of camp, right? Like, it was so. If we were a year ago, you were like, Zary, what is he? Oh my gosh, he had to go down. And that year he became a player you're impressed with that you believe will be a top.
The difference is the age though. Zary last year was how old?
Well, I was the year after 20. It's just there's similarities in it because they both had 16 months where they were hardly healthy, or had games taken away and Hanzik was the same, but it's just not linear. You'd love it to be every year. There's a certain amount of gains, and the arrow always points to the same spot, but that just isn't the case. We see it too many times where a guy looks left for dead and then he comes back. Any of that.
My concern is that if he goes somewhere else and he turns out, you have really effed it up.
We're all in agreement on that.
And for what? So the rest of the math.
That's what I was going to say. There's the layers to it. There's the debate as to what he is now, and right now I think across the board, he was not very good in the preseason. There are players that have either moved ahead of him or, as of today, are ahead of him on the depth chart.
Yep.
He probably deserves to go to the American League.
If he didn't need waivers, this is easy, right?
So moving on to that, should he have had an edge because of the waiver eligibility, just protecting the asset, like you said? And then there's another step, which is I honestly have a harder time with this defending this as the argument. They are keeping 8 defensemen, as Joel Hanley was not put on waivers.
So he can't go down.
To go down.
So he's made the team.
So it's Uyghur Miramanov, Ball Anderson, Barry Pahal, Barry who they signed, remember, Jake Bean, and Hanley. That's 8 guys.
Yeah.
Could you have put Hanley on waivers to send him down?
Totally. And if you lose Hanley,
Who cares?
oh my gosh, how would you replace Hanley? Well, let's remind people how you got Hanley. You literally snapped him up on waivers, just like Braden Pahal.
Right.
So to keep a guy that you can find on waivers every year, or a reasonable facsimile of that player, there's always Hanley and Pahal type guys on waivers. It's not like every day, but every year there's guys like that. If you look at yesterday's list, there's probably someone that could be a number 7 defenseman on waivers somewhere. That's what you're going to keep over Jacob Pelche. That's tough because you might lose Jacob Pelche to keep Joel Hanley, who once one of these young defensemen takes half a step, he's an AHLer anyway.
Yeah.
Like if Brstevich comes flying out of the gates for 2 months and earns time, like Hanley's the first guy going down.
I'm arguing for Pelche because I don't want to. He might be nothing. I don't know.
Right.
We don't know. Is the whole point.
He's
We
not
don't know.
knocking on the door, and you're like, "Well, He didn't play well, but you lose him, and he turns out, and you kept Hanley.
It's a disaster.
Holy, what a X by
It's
so
Valimaki again.
it's you know what we're talking risk reward at our house. The kids are idiots.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, risk reward. What's the risk reward? What's the upside for the Flames?
They're not huge ones, but you watch them talk, and I know you guys probably have tapped into that preseason little video series they're doing, which has been awesome. A little behind the scenes. Love the team doing stuff like that, but they don't believe in that room when you talk about the coaches and the players that they're going to finish in the bottom 5. And I don't think any team in the NHL does. Maybe 1 or 2 a year. I think usually most years 27 teams are like, we're going to make the playoffs this year. And you like that. These are people that compete for a living, and everyone on that roster is beating the odds by getting to the NHL. Never mind anything else. Like they don't care for the predictions. You've already seen it. They're painting themselves as the underdog. You guys all have us missing the playoffs. It's like, how many people in that scrum actually wrote NHL predictions? Like nobody. But Nazem and all these guys, like, we're going to prove you all wrong. And I get it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're a pro athlete. So if you're in that room as Ryan Huskin saying this is a meritocracy, not everyone's going to make this team, the guys that take jobs are going to get them, you've held up your end of the bargain.
You have.
But the problem is, while that works for the coach, that might hurt the GM. And this is what we saw didn't work with Daryl and Brad, because the coach did what he wanted to do, but he wouldn't help the GM want what he needed to do. And that's why you lost Valimaki for nothing. And this is a GM and a head coach on the same page, but it's a really similar spot where you can go replace Joel Hanley on waivers in the next month. If Jacob Pelche turns into a guy that scores 20 goals and plays on a Backlund-like line for a decade, that's a difficult thing to like. You're spending like $5 million a year on Blake Coleman to do that thing. If he could be Blake Coleman, and that's probably a ceiling of sorts, they're not the same player, but an effective third liner who can play tougher minutes and contribute offensively, that's not nothing. Joel Hanley's very close to nothing in the sense that you picked him up for like $5,000 on a waiver claim.
Would you pay, or would you trade Joe Hanley for Pelche?
You can't trade Joel Hanley. Yeah. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And maybe Huska likes 8 guys in practice, but they have to be confident he's getting through, or I just don't like the risk reward of this.
How can you be confident he's getting? I don't know.
Like you know they would have canvassed the league.
Yes,
that's. But I feel like that's
the league. What do you screw you, Conroy?
That's. Are you interested in trading for him?
So what I think you probably do is you call and you say, "Hey, we've got a really good camp. Some wingers are in some interesting spots. How do you feel about player X? We'd be open to moving him in the right situation."
Exactly, yeah.
And they say, "Well, we're looking for something different on our 3rd and 4th line," or it's like, "Yeah, you know what? That would fit our profile. What would the cost be?" And as soon as someone starts talking about what's going to cost, like, well, they take them for nothing if they're asking you what it costs to get a guy.
Yeah, free is a little different.
If you're going to give up an asset to get him, you'll take him for free.
I mean, the other that if he's picked, you get a contract back.
They have lots of contract.
Okay, cap space.
They don't need more.
No, it's the trout because like we've as soon as we Gavin yesterday, as soon as it's like, all right, so what are we missing? What is the thought process? And you can go down has he had a good camp? What's he going to be? How does he kind of map out what's he going to be as a player? As soon as you get to the Hanley part of the discussion,
it gets weird. That's where the sniff test doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know how that conversation
And again, like if Solovyov plays really well and looks like a third pair, big, strong, heavy guy, like
why do you
he's
want to fill
replacing
the
Hanley by
spot with
Christmas.
Hanley?
He's a perfect number 8. That's why he was Dallas's number 8 last year.
But you
right? Like that's what he is. He's an 8.
It's weird. We're in agreement. Pinder, you're letting us down here.
we didn't
Look. They've done a good job on waivers. They should continue to do that. You don't really need to bog the system down with bottom of the roster guys. They got lots of bottom of the roster guys.
There's got to be more to this.
Don't you feel like
That's what I'm like?
Because then you keep going a step further. Okay, well, Coronado and Klapka and Honzik, you're not going to be sent down for a guy that had an inferior camp to you. That's a good message to send. You don't want to be in
Meritocracy,
right? It's
How long does that last?
Hanley. It feels like we're slamming on Hanley, but he's the guy. Clearly,
he's a very good 8. Like he's the best Hanley can be. Like
How old's Hanley?
30.
Oh.
He's old. 33.
I know. I'm being.
And even to carry 8's just unusual. You usually see them carry 7.
I think it's different. Sorry, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because they have so much cap space.
Mhm.
So sometimes I think teams wouldn't carry 8 because money matters.
Yeah, and they also were in a spot with the cap space. If performances in camp weren't what they were, they could have run with 3 goalies for a while because I know they like Cooley.
So whatever. I don't get it. I don't know what Pelche is going to be. I'm not trying to say that I thought I saw something in him in training camp that's great, but I don't understand why you'd risk losing him for nothing.
I think we're all in agreement. He was not one of their best 13 forwards in camp. And
Who did he play? I don't even know who he played with.
Well, I think he moved around for a amount, but I also would suggest that, none of us would say you need to keep Hanley, risk losing Pelche for it.
Yeah, he moved around a little bit. I think there was for a little while played with Backlund and Coleman and really didn't pop at
It
all
sounded
there.
like he was better as things closed, whereas Coronado might have tailed off a bit after that really hot start. The problem with the preseason is that every time you're on the road, you're just playing mostly AHL and junior guys, and there's just not a lot of NHL structure or personnel in there. And then the last 2 preseason games are probably the closest NHL rosters, and it feels like everyone's kind of made up their mind. So he could have been passable those last 2, but no one's going to forget all those Coronado goals against not even close to NHL rosters. Yeah. Which is odd.
We're walking through it. It's our opening statements for McLeod Law today. Our good friends over at McLeod Law taking care of you, whether it's personal, business, whatever your legal challenge is, they're in it with you. They're Calgary folk. They're Calgary people. Personal injury. What else do you need lawyers for? Getting
Real
married?
estate.
Getting laid
Real
off.
estate. Getting laid off. Getting divorced.
What if my long-term benefits, they're not paying me?
Then you got to get that looked after.
Okay.
They're the best at it.
Got a Kleiner on it?
Oh man, Peter Klein, you get him on it, and he's just like a dog on a bone.
Oh, good. I feel better.
There's no
My
quit.
back's bugging me. You might have to go a couple weeks to that. Peter?
McLeod-law.com is the website. I saw some other remarks online talk. Well, did you know Sharon Govich was going to be out? Because then you still
because when was the last game? Like you had to make your waiver decisions well after you played Winnipeg. No,
yeah, like you knew
because it's one more guy that they're keeping ahead of him in the forward ranks. Because if Sharon Govich is there, that's one more forward you don't have room
That's
for.
right.
So if he goes to IR, it's like, well, shit. There's 2 guys that beat him when we weren't sure that anyone would. Hanley and another guy.
So
Klapka's had a great camp. He doesn't need waivers. Honzik, I love the message, but I think he has to play some AHL games this year. All those first-year kids always hit a wall. We saw it with even Monahan, who was undeniable. It was like he had the fractured foot and a lull around Christmas his first year, and some seasoning would have worked. He would have had to come back to junior at that point.
It does feel very much with that in mind, because those are easy moves.
And Coronado as well doesn't even need waivers.
They are focused on a meritocracy type of thing. You don't deserve it over this guy, so it's not good. We're keeping the guys that had the camps that deserve to be.
Like you could have sat down with Samuel Honzik and said, that was an unbelievable camp. We're so proud of you. We want you to go torch the AHL for a month and we'll bring you back. And then you don't have to put yourself in this pickle. And no one would be upset because
he would be.
I'm sure he would, just like Zeri was last year. And then he came back better.
He also has the expectation that he was probably going to the AHL.
Yes,
start the season,
coming out of
like it's a
Penticton,
different
there was the thought maybe they weren't even firm. He was going to AHL, might still be junior, but this summer.
Because we talked about it last week when you weren't here. If Honzik doesn't stay and gets sent down just for the contract, hey, you did great. The response would have to be, what more do I need to do other than lead the team in scoring in the preseason?
Yeah.
Do I need to have 2 points more than everybody?
I would say you'd have to prove it against men for more than
Again,
2
I'm
weeks.
just trying to build an argument.
I got your
All of
argument,
it's-
but then you have to build an argument for the Hanley and for the Pelts
No, I know,
reasoning,
I know.
right? Like there's always has to be a reason for this.
I agree that you could make the case. It's just the Pelche case is a much more difficult one to make, right? You
Yeah.
could easily have just protected the asset and sent one of those 3 guys, Coronado, Klopker, Honzik, to the Wranglers and say, go work with men on your systems, and we are going to be so excited to bring you up by Halloween if everything's going great.
So, but you've got the line. Do we have?
And
the
that's what happened with
lines
Zeri. Zeri came
written
up. What was it,
down?
outdoor
That's
game
kind
last
of
year?
it there.
Well, you got Sharangovich still in there. So who's playing with Kadri and Kuzmenko?
That's the hole. I would put Honzik there because all your other lines I feel like are solidified. And you could have Coronado there if you want, but I think Kuzmenko's he's a right side guy.
And I would put him there too. The point I'm trying to get at is if you have Honzik playing with Rooney and Lomberg, is that what you want anyway?
No.
You know what I mean? If Sharangovich is still in the lineup, is that's your fourth line?
That's the Klapka spot in the fourth
It
line,
is.
to be fair.
But again, wouldn't you have give your a first round pick a chance at something? It feels like again, yes, you have to earn it. And this and that. But Klapka,
Are you talking about Pelche? or
I'm
Honzik?
talking about Pelche.
Okay.
I'm talking about a couple things. I'm saying if you're keeping these lines and whatever,
Mhm.
Honzik's not on your fourth line. There's no sense keeping him
Doesn't
playing
make
with
sense.
Lomberg and Rooney. But go play AHL. You're going to develop much better there.
Go play top line minutes, work on the first power play.
I
play
get what
20 minutes a
Klapka
night.
brings, and that fourth line's fine if you've got a competitive team that you need that, but not at the expense of losing a Pelche. I don't.
I agree with that. And look, you want to reward Klopka for the whole meritocracy thing, but there's an asset management piece in all this too.
You can do all of it and
Yes.
keep Pelche.
Yeah.
Now, it's probably worth mentioning because we talked about, I think one of the guys in the room was asking about with waivers. Another team can't grab him and just shuttle him off to their American League team.
No, that's
But
what the
there's
Flames are
enough
trying to do. That's why
teams.
He
waivers.
needs, if he is claimed, he needs to go and be on their NHL roster,
Yeah.
whoever it is. And if they decide, maybe some AHL time would be good for this kid, they have to put him on waivers again,
Matthew Phillips, basically.
and Flames get a crack at him again.
Yeah, they get him back. And again, if he does clear,
Not
you've
gonna
got a
be
30.
happy to come back here.
No,
But you'd be happy to take him back.
Oof, I think you're burning bridges, man.
Well, do you want the asset or not? We're playing that. We're talking asset management game. But yeah, I think if a
You
team
just
takes
told
him,
your asset we don't think you're any good. We're sending you down.
well, I
again.
don't think that was the message. But I hear what you're saying. He wasn't he didn't deserve to make this team. Okay, but the thought process is that he can go down and look like the guy that dominated the American League 2 years ago.
I get it.
And if that guy's there, he can come back and play in the NHL.
I get it. Like you that's all right. Well, we will find out this afternoon, I guess. If
Yeah.
somebody else
Oh.
would rather take a stab at him.
Is it noon, Dana? We're going to find that out. Waivers.
My opinion on it, I don't like it. I don't give a shit about the meritocracy stuff. And maybe Pelche's nothing. I don't think you need to risk it and keep Hanley. It's stupid, in my opinion.
unless, like you say, unless there's something
Yeah,
we're not seeing.
We don't know everything. Sitting in this chair right now, I look at that and I go, "That doesn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't do it."
I don't get the upside. Like, what's the big payoff? I guess the only
Your upside is that he gets to go to your minor league team and have a chance at improving his game.
that's the biggest one. I think it's just
And that's all,
he's
even
gonna
that's fine and good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. Even that's fine and good. Even if he does go down, this still doesn't mean he can play in the NHL. Right? Like, go down and fix your game. We'll bring you back up. You're still shit.
well,
Right?
I mean-
it doesn't. The AHL's not the NHL.
Yeah.
no,
We're
but-
happy to have you back. I mean, not here.
You can't fit. You're
Well,
no good.
in the,
So
in the
maybe-
American League. We'd love to have you there.
You know, and they've been around and maybe they see it and they're like, he's never gonna, it's just not happening.
or it's, you know what, we think he's a player, but he needs more than anything to play big minutes and not eat popcorn for a month. Because how does he crack
Then
this top
swallow your
12?
well, whatever.
Like, if you can't get him on the ice at the NHL level, how's he getting confidence here?
Let's
How's that helping?
The other thing is we'll find out in 10 games that, we're going to tackle the world and we're the underdogs and we'll show you. Yeah, well, let's find out.
Okay.
I guess.
I think we know how Red
Please.
feels.
Please
The-
do.
Now, the other thing that I got just as we maybe this is just how nice Conroy is.
Oh.
Maybe there is that conversation, like you say. We just think that Jacob Pelts at best is going to be a depth NHL forward, but maybe some other team thinks differently. Let's give Jacob a chance to go somewhere else. Jacob, we're going to put you on waivers. We don't want to lose you. We hope you stay. But man, if it goes the other way and some team grabs you, then go be the best player you can be.
Well, he's a nice guy and a terrible GM then.
Well, I mean, if another team likes him, you trade him. If that's the bridge you're crossing.
But if I'm a team that kind of likes him, I think they're going to put him on waivers. Like, I'll wait a day and keep my draft pick.
Well, I could read these tea leaves here. It sure feels.
Yeah.
We'll see. And look, the best case scenario is still out there. The best case scenario is he clears.
Yeah.
He plays really well in the American League and he comes back a better player. And we see it all the time.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
All the time?
Like 3 or 4 times last year we saw it.
What do you say?
Zeri came back a better player after a good start in the American League. Coronado returned in the spring from the American League, much better player than when he left. Klapka came up for a little bit, didn't look the part, looked much better in his second NHL stint. Solovyov, the same thing.
Those guys hadn't
all
played
those
years
guys
in the minors before.
I'm just saying that if he goes and plays well in the American League, you're getting a confident hockey player that feels good about his game coming back. That's not where he's at right now.
It's fine. I don't okay. We're splitting hairs here. I just don't think it happens all the time.
I just at his age, this is a normal thing. It's just the 1 year he got robbed by the injury.
Is he not? He's older.
What's the difference between him and Zeri? A year?
Well,
I don't have a computer.
I'm just guessing.
You guys don't let
me be a year.
And so it's like, that's not
two.
And it's not night and day.
By the time you're 23, how many guys at 23 go from fringy tweener to 20 goal NHL guy? I don't know.
Can I say this as well? How many guys you've now had experience with Jacob Pelts? You've seen good, you've seen bad. You saw the injuries last year. Mm-hmm. You saw the contracts. I don't know if I'd call it a squabble, but whatever, to finally get done. Do you think Jacob Pelts didn't know what he was getting into when he was coming to camp?
He knew. We talked about it in the summer.
Right?
This was a guy that had to have a great camp because he needed waivers.
And so why all of a sudden is getting sent to the minors going to help him? Why wasn't he ready to come play, to fight for it?
Yeah,
I mean, I can play the other side of it too, where I'm Conroy and Huska going, dude, you knew damn well you were in a dogfight to have a spot, and you showed up and you shit the bed.
Yeah, like he's within 200 days of Zeri.
And now you're going to say, well, you go to the minors and he's going to turn it around. He knew he should have been fighting from day one.
I don't think he wasn't fighting. Now, look, I didn't watch all these games, but what I heard is just he was, good, not great. And then some guys that were below you on the theoretical depth chart had great camps. Like, who in the world 2 weeks ago had Honzik being better than Pelts?
I think,
and it's undeniable at this point through the preseason, but no one had it coming. No one saw it. Even Klapka, a bit of a surprise.
But still, you're hanging this that maybe he can go to the minors and find himself. I just think it's a big maybe because he's played in the minors. He's supposed to have found himself.
He did.
He should be moving forward.
Last year was the worst case scenario because I think it put the player behind.
Yes.
And it also puts the team behind in their assessment as to what he is.
And guys pass him like Zeri.
Because
2 years ago, he had a great American League year and came to camp and was great last fall. And then he loses the whole year. People are like quitting the process.
I'm okay with that. But if Pelts plays the whole year and he's healthy,
he should be
and still puts up the numbers he did at the end of the season, which were not great. It's like, okay, well, he's been passed by players 1, 2, 3. I just wonder with that, because he got hurt early and then came back and was tentative and then didn't play
Got hurt again.
Then
went to the minors and was okay, but didn't look like the Pelts that lit up the AHL the year prior. Was just okay and a little tentative in the AHL playoffs. It's a guy lacking confidence. All the skills he had aren't gone. He's got every single skill he had 2 years ago when he was too good for the American League. Yeah. That's what you need to see again to graduate him.
And the whole being passed within the organization that happens all the time. It's just about what is this guy?
Yeah.
Was last year a major blip? Now you get to this year, and there was not a lot in the preseason. There just wasn't. Mm-hmm. You talked about a lot of other players, before you talked about Pelts.
Totally.
So
that's how you get to this crossroad of a really tough decision for the GM and the coach, because the coach wants to stand in front of the room and be true to what he said.
So Joe Hanley was undeniable.
Joel.
Red calls him Joe.
I call him Joe.
They're buddies. Yeah.
We're tight.
So tight.
Like, seriously.
That's where it breaks down.
Totally breaks down.
That's the one
Man,
straw.
was he great? I didn't hear his. Did he play actually in exhibition? Are we freezing?
I bet you played a lot of road games.
God. Boom, snapping. Things were off.
No, I'm just. It feels like there has to be something. We'll move on. I just keep saying that. Maybe
we won't move on.
Maybe there's a blockbuster.
Yeah, that's
and
what it is.
Hanley is the piece.
Right.
Listen, we'd be very happy to send you Connor Bedard.
That's what it is.
But we need a Hanley type guy. And if you're not, we'll call somebody else.
They got him lined up to sing the anthem or the take me to the ball game at Wrigley. He's built for Chicago.
Straight.
Joel Hanley is the missing piece.
He loves the Cubbies.
And then whatever you got to do to get Bedard just for the Flames, tough, but you got to do it.
It's opening statements for McLeod Law. Shane King, partner in the litigation and dispute resolution group, specializing in areas like employee rights. Being laid off, terminated can be hard. Shane will review your situation, make sure you've been treated fairly and as the law requires, using a practical approach and plain language, not legal jargon. I hate legal jargon. Can't stand it. I got no time for it. That's why McLeod Law, there's my kind of people. My kind of people.
We got some lines. We're all over this stuff. This is good. Good to see. Skates underway.
Yeah.
It's what we kind of thought. It's Honzik into the Sharangovich hole. Kuzmenko on the right side of the Kadri line, and your third pair is Bean and Pahal, leaving Hanley and Barry as your practice pair.
Yep, there it is again.
And I know it was weird. They were playing Barry on the left side in camp. Like, what are you doing? He's right shot his whole bleeping career. This makes sense. And yeah, so there it is.
So again, if you just take the bottom of the defense of the goalies out, you look at it.
Most of that makes sense.
That makes, obviously the injury is not ideal, but yeah, Honzik should go and play there, and Coronado be the extra guy, and Klapka, fourth line guy. Yep.
I just
feels like there's an extra body in that D core that doesn't.
And they don't often run eighth, but yeah.
Where's Coronado fitting in?
I would sort of think you got him and Honzik rotating through.
He's a sweet boy.
And you know what? He could even.
How do you know?
Oh, I know.
He could even play on that fourth line, as weird as that sounds, because he does get hard on pucks. It's not where you want him to be, but it's not like, putting Huberdeau on a fourth line. We're like, well, this just doesn't work. Like he's a good forechecker.
Dusters taking up time.
Whatever happened to our boy Walker?
Walker
We were so excited about Walker.
Yeah, like 10 games 2 years ago.
He got married. Is that it?
Yeah, some of the guys you like got married too. So I don't know. That's gonna work.
No, if there's one thing we learned last week, being on your own is not a bad thing.
No, it's
not a bad thing.
You got to make
single life.
Bachelor?
You got to make some choices for yourself.
That's right.
It's got to work for you.
Well, I'm alone till Wednesday. How's that work? Going for pints tonight or what?
If she comes back.
Was it a sad, teary?
She's working on her citizenship. I think we're okay.
Was it a teary farewell
at 4 a.m. when I rolled out to get on the shuttle that took 2 hours to get to the airport to wait for 2 hours for the 14.5-hour flight for the 2-hour layover in Vancouver at 6 a.m. to the flight home.
Figure your ass out. That was the pod. Did you sit?
Pod.
Stayed in the. Well, it's nice.
I got a bulge disc because I was in economy. I can hardly walk straight. I stand up like this. I'm just tilted right now.
Yeah. So how long?
Cairo on speed dial.
How long is the flight?
14.5 hours to Vancouver.
Holy Dinah.
So
when you land in Vancouver and have 3 hours in between, it's not fun.
No. And it's basically your body clock's at midnight. So you're like, it's bedtime. And you get there and it's like dark and dawn, getting bright. You're like, I'm in one here.
I'll stay out.
Dark and dawn.
I don't know.
So needless to say, you got to keep busy on the day. You got to stay up, get on your bike, hit some breweries.
Oh, get on the bike.
Get some zoomies in you, get some energy to keep you up, and then crush sleep.
Lady was biking. I almost took her out the other day.
No.
Good God, get off the road. There's no room.
Doesn't sound.
It wasn't a bike lane. No bike lane. Maybe that was.
They need more bike lanes.
It's looking really good out there. Hey, a lot of.
I didn't.
Yeah. No, didn't notice any.
Maybe it's one of those things like watching your kids grow. Like, they're bigger, but
right.
It's not one day you just like, he's not taller today.
I'll tell you, it's
every
going
day
to be an impressive bike lane because it's some kind of wide. I don't know if it's a 4 wide kind of like stony trail of bike
Got a
lanes.
deer foot
Do you remember when Kramer adopted that stretch of highway? And
That's
Yes.
he just took the
It's
lane-
luxurious.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at these cushy lanes. Oh,
That's what we got for the bikers
yeah.
here.
Go too wide.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's just you're knocking car door mirrors off.
You gotta
Don't
push-
stop
pull them in.
to park. No, just to drive. 2-way traffic. No, one way. Yeah,
One way,
just
yeah.
one way.
Yeah.
Want to welcome new partner of the show, Square.
Oh,
Well, we brought up Square. You know, absolutely Square. You tap something, boop,
yep.
Square.
Yeah, I see it all the time.
Right on
It's my coffee place. does it.
Technology. Who knew? If you run a restaurant, you're probably too busy for this ad. You're too busy to listen to me talk to you about it. You're thinking about how can we get more orders flowing? How do we get our new locations up and running? More customers, keep them coming back. That's how you do it. You're already really thinking about Square because Square Restaurant Tech helps more than 400,000 restaurants do all of those things and more. So when you're thinking about your restaurant, think bigger and think Square. You maximize sales. You make it easy to process orders in-house with a kiosk, mobile POS for tableside orders, online ordering for takeout and delivery. Now, here's the website. You're going to have to listen to me now.
I'm listening right now.
Go to squareup.com/ca/en/campaign/BigInRST to see why Square is big in restaurants. I'm always impressed where you get, they're only going to take cash. You know what it was? Tabor corn.
Tabor.
Oh, it's like, oh yeah, we got
stall.
what?
I don't have cash. What am I doing? And
I
like,
don't.
We're
I'm
good.
gonna have to run to the
We're
eights.
good.
Do I have
Can't
to-
stop here.
No, right here. Boop.
Done.
Thank you, Tabor, Mr. Tabor corn.
How
using
is the
Square.
Tabor corn this year?
Always great.
Because it's from Tabor,
It's from Tabor.
just south.
It's on my to-do list. If I missed the window, we're still good.
squareup.com/ca/campaign/BigInRST is the website to get your restaurant
Banger.
up and running with Square. How's your bills, bud?
They're fine. It's the Bills.
Power bills? You got a phone bill? What kind of
Yeah,
bills
what
we
do you
talking?
9 of 30 for
Oh.
Josh Allen?
Was that the worst day of his career for completions?
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah, and they still almost won. So
That's right.
glass half full, fellas.
Got it.
Half full. What am I getting upset? Not sure we've how long we've kind
Yeah,
of
I
10,
guess,
12,
yeah.
15 years.
No, I
Like,
just think
it's
of
the Bills.
yeah.
Steady Eddie.
There was because of course they were playing the
Texans.
Texans, and that's where
Good team.
Stephon Diggs plays now. He
'Cause
used to play in Buffalo,
Mhm.
Right.
and for a while when he first got there,
Real
this is
good.
a real weapon for Josh Allen. These guys he went great. Then over time, it felt like I'm not sure if these two guys.
Well, I think Diggs is a dick. So
Yeah,
Oh.
he puts on his pouty pants.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
You
not getting the
didn't pass me the
ball.
ball. Well, maybe he weren't open.
And on the other side is, well, who else is he throwing the ball to? Is it Gabe the Babe? What else is
Babe Davis.
What else is out there?
Shakir.
So yesterday they play the Texans. The Texans beat the Bills.
Ugh,
So sweet nectar.
too sweet.
Here's Josh Allen going to find his buddy. Where's Diggsy?
Where's Dixie?
Where's Diggsy? Are these buddies? And the little stink guy there.
That is a little stink. Holy.
That looks like put that in your tookus, big boy.
Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, they didn't get along.
I think they did, and then they didn't.
Yeah.
It's probably fair.
Weird.
Just like the Flames and Pelche.
Just like the
All
Flames and
good.
Daryl.
So which
Not so
one's Pelche in that? Is that the Diggs with the stink eye?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think so.
So maybe he'll go on and be victorious.
Maybe that's Daryl to the old brass. Remember,
You know what? All it is Allen is he's doing the right thing. He's out there got to shake hands after the game, but he's already focused on the next
Right.
game. He's
Is that right?
wow. Yes, 100.
Who's it? Pelche? What number? What number was he?
Ice time?
He knew that he didn't have his best and that the team didn't win, so he's already moving on.
Yeah,
he's ready. So what am I going to worry about? What just happened? Or think about what I can do better next time.
Does he have a time machine? Can he go back and change anything?
I don't
So
think
he's just got to
so.
be looking forward.
He is Superman in my opinion, but
now did he get married or?
no,
Because
he's
he
single.
looked like a married guy for sure yesterday.
Oh,
He
yeah.
looked like one.
Yeah, he looked like.
Maybe he did some quick little Vegas drive-through, hey, Dino?
He's not going.
Maybe.
through
3
what
weeks in, he looked like
As
the
long as he's
MVP.
not going through what Jack's going.
Rat. Thought we talked about.
I'm on him. That's my way of supporting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good work.
Did you watch any baseball this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm apparently I'm a big Padres fan.
Are you?
Oh, love the dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dads, and you know what? It's funny because they had all that hype for so many years. You know, they make the monster deal to go get Soto out of the Nationals. They signed Tatis to the monster contract. They bring in Machado. You're like, this is unreal. This is going to be, and it just never really happened.
No.
I think they made the playoffs once, and they were hugely embarrassingly bad for a couple of years. And then when everyone's kind of like, yeah, that's just never going to happen. Well, now it's happening.
Oh, it's
And
happening.
it's a great ballpark. It's the only team in the city now because they lost their football team. Go get it.
There is that. Yeah. Yeah, there is that.
Good food at that park.
Yeah, everything good at that park.
You keep talking like I've been to that park.
You should go to that park.
would
You
like to
haven't
go.
gone
I'd
to
love-
that
I'd
park.
be
Well,
very
you're going
happy.
away this weekend. You could have gone to
Going the wrong way.
yeah.
If you missed it yesterday, I just put to just kind of because they're playing the Dodgers and they hate the Dodgers.
Yeah, big rivalry.
And the
Southern
Dodgers hate the
California.
Padres.
They're both in California. I
Right.
think.
SoCal, baby.
Yeah, and the fans hate the other
Big time.
teams.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers fans, given what happened yesterday, they were not happy.
Right.
Put together, I don't know what you would call this, a super cut or
Montage.
just a little. This is what happened yesterday at Chavez Ravine.
That is a fastball pummeled down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is gone, and a home run for Tatis. Golf to right center field. Tommy Edmonds going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall, and it's gone. Merrill sends one in the air to left field. Teoscar Hernandez going back. He's out of room, and the rookie has gone the other way. Driven to left field, high in the air, way back, and it is gone again. Higashioka hammers this ball, left center field. Edmund to the track, at the wall. It is gone. He drives the ball, right center field.
Jeez.
Edmund back. It is gone. The Padres tee it off.
The thing about
Second of the
Tatis
game
here,
for Tatis. And
very
they've got
modest
double
guy.
digits in
Mhm.
game.
Very
Humble.
very humble dude. Watch the trot here at third.
Yep. There's the old reset jog. That's his move.
Don't want to miss the base, right?
Always the reload. Zip. And a Brown go.
Double
Like a
did.
high jumper.
Well, do you remember? I don't want, not everything's about the Blue Jays, but the outrage
Not this year.
Nothing is.
Remember the outrage over the Batista bat toss?
Yeah.
And like how that would not even be noted today. Like Ohtani zipped his bat in game one.
Oh, it's crazy.
That was a series winner.
Yeah.
And people were outraged.
Yeah.
We're outraged for years.
Got into a fist fight
Still mad.
at
Rougned Odor.
second.
Yes.
A
in
year
Texas.
later.
Knocked his
That's
ass
how
out.
mad people were about a bat flip. And then you like,
Yeah.
these guys are pimping home runs and
Yeah, but those guys are
June
from
now.
Texas. They're not going to stand for that.
right.
Nobody going to stand for that. So that was one of the games yesterday. And I mean, the other one, you were kind of, oh, you love, you're like in Philadelphia. I kind of do. I don't know. It's just those fans are crazy. They love their teams. And it was an all-out banger yesterday at the whatever Citizens Bank. Is it the bank?
Yeah.
Citizens
Citizen
Bank Park,
Yeah.
I believe is what they call it.
There it is right
Um,
there over the booking.com site.
There it is.
Citizens Bank Park.
We'll take a look at it.
Here to right. Castellanos ranging back at the wall. He turns around and it's gone. It kept on carrying for Vientos, who continues to impress in his Division Series debut. Alonso sends one high in the air to right. Back on it, Castellanos at the wall, looking up, and Alonso goes deep. Another opposite field shot of the playoffs, and it's 3-0 New York. Fastball punch to the air, deep center field. Back it goes, and Bryce Harper brings life to Philadelphia. It's 3-2. Castellanos, deep to left, just like that. This game is tied.
Holy.
High leverage count. Nimmo launches it towards right. Castellanos twisting around, turning around, watches it go. And Brandon Nimmo responds. And the Mets regain the lead. It's 4-3 in the 7th. Into right field, fair ball. This game is tied. Harper is in. Castellanos getting the sign to come home. He will score. Philadelphia leads. Bryson Stott has put the Phillies on top. 3-2 pitch. Here's a fastball, hit in the air, deep left field, ranging back is Hayes, at the wall, Mark Vientos has done it again, and the Mets have done it again. It's 6-6 in the 9th. The 1-0. Harper down the right field line, towards the corner, it is a foul ball.
Oh.
Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, one apiece. Castellanos the hero. Right to his son.
Imagine that's as good as it gets. A game-winning hit, and then sharing the moment with your son. Describe your emotions.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So that was Sunday in
Turn
Philly.
that off.
Jeez. And
I mean, holy shit,
making
right?
it even better, I believe the Eagles are on bye, so the whole city is
Yeah.
glued. Like, you didn't have to worry about sharing it with the NFL.
Yeah. And Seravalli was there. It's not
Come
why he's not on
on.
today, but I mean, that stuff, I was watching putting that together last night. It's like, God, the video with the kid.
Oh,
It's like, holy shit. You talk about, oh, did you make some memories with your dad? Yeah, we went fishing a couple times. Or that time my dad hit a bomb in the
whole city was
NLDS
upside
and then a
down.
walk-off hit for a win. Holy crap.
Castellanos is in every single one of those highlights.
Yeah.
Because all the home runs went to right field. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like the footnote in every piece of history ever.
And it was such a great call on that, on the Harper shot. Foul ball. It's like,
Oh.
holy shit. Even they're losing it in the broadcast. So.
Playoff baseball, man.
Playoff baseball. So Mets, Phillies, Padres, Dodgers, they're both tied at 1. They're going to swing one, obviously, to Petco. The other will go to Queens.
Yeah.
And today, game 2 in the Tigers, Guardians. That's the first one, 2:00. 1-0 there for Cleveland, and the Yankees are up 1-0 against the Royals, 5:38 in the Bronx.
were the donkeys in LA thrown?
Yes.
Well, yeah, they didn't like it. It was Profar made a amazing catch in left to the point he put his glove in to catch the ball and then pulled it back, and you couldn't tell if he had it or not. He just kind of stood there looking at the fans. Even the players are like, "Did you catch it?
Where's the ball? Umpire's gonna
Does
make
this
a call
guy
here.
need to keep running?" So they were sour with that because he did have the ball and he was kind of showing them up. And then Tatis, again, humble guy, was kind of almost wiggling his dick at him.
He was
in the outfield.
Twerking?
Yeah, they were throwing balls and throwing stuff at the
he was
guys. in
thrusting
the,
his hips towards the fans.
yeah,
And then the bullpen was getting airmailed with all kinds
Yeah.
of junk from
debris.
the fans.
There was debris being
Debris.
thrown at them. It's not good.
Don't go too
Yeah.
far. Come on.
Yeah.
Keep it classy.
And I think this was after game 1 between the Mets and Phillies. Phillies tough town.
Yeah, yeah.
We tell you go into LA if you're a Padres fan, you got to just mind your P's and Q's. You go into Philly, you're a Mets fan, there could be some trouble. This was after game 1. Mets fan unhappy he's been tossed.
I've been told to kill myself. I'm a piece of shit. I'm an ass. Totally fine. I was quickly escorted out by security. It is currently, I believe, the bottom of the 8th inning. She's the one that kicked me out. She's the one that kicked me out.
And all you did the entire game was use inappropriate language, inappropriate gestures.
Oh my God.
I've been that guy before.
You think? Inappropriate gestures. Ooh. And dude's into it. I just got to tell you to go kill myself.
That's
Just having some drinks. Enjoy the ball game.
Let's go Mets.
So that's baseball. All of it. Come from behind, tough losses, emotional times with your kids, and getting thrown out of ballparks.
It's the whole gamut.
It's all of it. It's all of it right there.
All the feels.
Isn't it beautiful? You feel it?
Get misty here. Jack, you doing okay over there?
Feel it. The Pinder Report was different while you were away.
It always is.
Let's hope for it. Maintain.
What?
Nothing. These new mics pick up.
Yeah. Is this thing on? It's the Pinder Report. It's a presentation. What hasn't changed? It's
Still Village
Honda.
Honda.
Yeah.
Great friends.
Great friends. New in-stock inventory on the ground. This is the other thing. I mean, have you got your, you got to start thinking, probably should think about the winter tires, eh?
Oh, yeah. You're going
So I get those.
Oh, that's a good, I got to write that down.
You're not going to do it. It'll be a month from now.
I just have to
6 feet of snow.
call Anthony and ask what these tires are. I don't even know. I have no clue. Question mark.
What do you think they are?
Guessing all seasons, but I don't know.
They'd be all seasons.
all season different than winter.
But all seasons, that's not winters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I might have to make
And
a
you know
call.
what? They try and
Hmm?
we could talk to somebody about it. They have these, they're called all weather.
Yeah.
Like you don't need, if you have the all weather, and you know what it is? Malarkey.
It's marketing.
Really?
Yep.
I don't like malarkey.
Because
do
it
you?
might be better than an all season, but it's not as good as a winter.
Yeah.
And in this climate that we live in,
Don't
you
muck
got to have
don't
those
muck around.
winters.
Okay.
You got to have them.
I'll make
And you
that
might think,
call.
hey, I got an all-wheel drive. I got a four-wheel drive. I guess so. But if your tires are no good, then how good is everything else?
It's not good.
It's not good.
If we're
It's not
tires
safe.
going no good, ain't good.
Village Honda. Get your winters, buy them there. If you haven't bought them there, get them installed. What about your vehicle? Is it ready for the cold months ahead? Only they'll tell you, hey, you should probably top this up and maybe change that. That's what they do.
Someone in the comments asking, is that poppycock?
It is a bit of poppycock. It's some malarkey for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is poppycock real food?
It's a popcorn treat.
Yeah. Why do I see? We use it in a kind of a
Derogatory. way.
derogatory.
Yeah,
That's the word. I was
yeah.
going to say detrimental, but derogatory.
Yeah,
But
it's an-
poppycock.
It's an oldie time thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like palaver.
Well,
all this,
Halloween's coming. I'm going to make poppycock for all the kids.
Are you? And will
Is
you
that
put
the thing,
will you
the
put
ball or the popcorn ball?
So you just have a big bowl
That's
of
what the shoveler calls it?
just have a big bowl of peacock out in the front step for the kids. Village Honda presents the Pinder Report.
All right, boys, let's get into it. Calgary Flames will have a roster in mere hours, minutes, and it will not include Jacob Pelche, friends, as he was one of dozens of players placed on waivers around the NHL yesterday as teams have to get down to number. Cole Schwint, Devin Cooley, they also on waivers expected to clear. The question is, will Jacob Pelche? We've talked about it a ton. We don't need to rehash everything, but the one thing stuck in your craw, Dean, you're not alone, as the sentiment from our very own Bobby Germany. The thing about keeping Joel Hanley and potentially, ridiculous. There's a chance Pelche could be a part of the Flames organization for a long time. Hanley at best the number 8 and won't be around for this season. Insanity, period. Now, Bobby Germany's gone to the website, written 2 sides. He actually makes the argument for and against putting Pelche on waivers. It's a good read at flamesnation.ca, but that certainly is the news we're all waiting for in the next hour or so. Is Jacob Pelche still property of the Calgary Flames, or is he elsewhere?
If you're another team, would you take them? Let's play that game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what's your wing depth and how tight to the cap are you?
Well, the other thing is too, the Flames they're that type of team. We're young. We're going through a change. We've got tons of cap space. We'll take a shot on this guy's a first-round pick. Didn't work
Let him
out for
play.
that team. We'll go roll the dice in this guy. Bring him in.
Bring him in.
Yeah, Flames have lots of wing options.
Regardless, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I do.
I know you love to debate, but if ever the Flames would be,
This is the type
hey, we'll go and
yeah.
Yes.
this guy's falling out
Like
of
Pierre
favor.
Engvall got thrown on waivers yesterday. He's a 4th-line winger with a contract that's way too long, but he doesn't make crazy money, and
6 years.
he's an NHLer.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the Flames, but no, like they're flooded with options on the wing, especially after strong camps from Klapka and Honzik. And the question is there a team with A, the cap space, and B, the need for a Jacob Pelche or the interest to kick tires?
And the cap isn't us.
The cap, it's nothing.
It's
Right,
a league
It's as
minimum
cheap
deal.
as you're going to get.
It's essentially league min. So If you're putting him in and replacing somebody else, he's probably making less.
All it is a dice roll thinking there's something there. Because it's not based on performance. It's not because it's...
Yeah, and look, the guys that go in the first round are heavily scouted. Teams have really big books on them. You would not have an organization that didn't have a strong opinion on where Jacob Pelche was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You'd have your pro scouts watching him 2 seasons ago, and you say, yeah, last year wasn't good. Everyone will agree on that. But where was your organization on him before he got hurt in camp a year ago? There'd be something might be really high on him.
Yeah. We'll find out, Ryan.
Yes, Dean. Let's get to the roster. What's she going to look like? What we going to do? Well, I mean, it's probably... We saw the lines at camp, at practice today. Sharon Govich, a bit of an issue here, fellas. Don't know that this is what the Flames needed, at least for we're going to make the playoffs. And we proved you all wrong. You know-it-alls. This big piece of the team. This is a guy that just got rewarded with a 5-year extension, and a guy that I would think would be flirting with 30 goals this year with a healthy campaign, given how productive he was with a lot of time down the middle, which is not his best position last year, and did an admirable job filling in as a center.
Yeah.
Not the best.
I feel bad for him, you know?
Yeah.
Just going to sit around and he likes Legos, right?
He'll be fine. He'll bounce back.
He does like Lego, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a
Like
Lego
Titanic,
guy.
the 1,000 billion piece Titanic.
Loves the big ones, yeah.
The thing about the Lego is it's just following instructions.
You make that sound easy.
Oh, it's not.
How are you?
Only if you follow them. You can freelance if you want.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, show me something you built yourself.
Yeah.
If you're a real true Legite.
Yeah, like you could do the Titanic with directions.
Oh, wow.
How about Rhett's fishing boat?
If you're a true what?
Legite.
Legite.
That's what I thought you said.
I missed that.
See, I just go into a bucket of Legos and I build.
Well, you're a Legite.
I know.
Yeah.
So you're the jigsaw outlaw and he's a Legite?
That's right. And that's the thing with puzzles. You don't have the ability to freelance.
No.
You're boxed right in.
That's true. You can't really.
I'm going to take this and put it there. No, you're not.
That don't fit.
No, you're
That
not.
works.
Maybe I need to rethink my whole strategy.
Maybe you're a Legite and you didn't know it.
Maybe.
Games that matter. They come as soon as 2 days from now, fellas. That's exciting.
Didn't they already start?
Pike bomb. We have a schedule. That's right. Games that count in the standings.
Pike bomb. Schedule's been out forever.
If anything Pike goes on, I'm with Pinder. It's everything on the show that
Everything's a
has
Pike.
Pike's name.
Well,
Pike bomb.
but you don't like Pike Place.
I don't like Pike, but
You didn't like Pike Place?
Well, I said Pike.
The brew or the market?
Well, let me tell you something. I went for a Pike Place today. Well, I went for him, and I was actually going to ask if you guys are okay with this. What do they call them? The barista.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The barista turns around with a half full cup of coffee and goes, "Oh, I'm out of this kind of. What can I get you?" I'm like, "Yeah, the other one."
Yeah. Take the blonde.
Tops it up.
No, you can't be intermingling.
Can't do that.
I was like, "Is that
right?" Mixing drinks here.
That for sure you can't do. I thought you were maybe going to say, should it be on the house? You can't give me my preferred beverage. I'll take something else, but I mean,
and the mermaid joint's usually pretty good at you returning stuff.
I was
You
a
make any
bit
sort
of a. It was one of those stunned walking out, going, "Did I?" What?
So that's why you took the lid off and threw the hot coffee in his. That.
Sorry,
Goosh.
Got distracted.
You make sure you have more Pike Place tomorrow when I come by, won't you? Now.
That
No, we had Pike on the show.
I heard it.
And
he's at the
great.
dog park. It was not ideal.
I don't know what
What
it
the hell's he
was.
doing it? Walking
But I think that that could be Pike's Place. That's our little segment when we
at the
bring
dog
Pike on.
park.
I see.
Hopefully not at the dog park. Hopefully in a reliable cell area with headphones that.
His studio is fine. That's probably where he should do the things. Call me crazy. Pike Place is in a studio.
Old Pike ain't that busy. He could fit in a trip.
But I look forward to,
Margaloop, ride his bike.
to Pike's Place this year on.
Really pushing for it.
Now,
I'm trying it out.
how many people in the room would go full Karen there at the Mermaid when that happens to your coffee? Because it sounded like you didn't make a stink, but you thought about it.
I just didn't understand.
That's not cool.
I probably do the same. I probably take it and
I make a face like this, like,
yeah, probably not.
and then
happy about
leave.
it.
And then
So you're just gonna mix them.
yeah.
So what was the first? There was the Pikes
and then filled up with the other.
with the
About 2/3 of Pike, and then Yeah,
No,
That's not enough
that
pike.
is not going to do it. You don't mix. No commingling between brews.
come on.
My
Bruce.
wife would have gone full Karen there. Like,
You guys
I need
want
a gift card. You've
You
wasted
guys
my
want to have a
time.
union.
This isn't free. I need another one. That one will be free. And I'm never
No,
coming
I'm
here
going
and I'm
back.
giving you
I'm
one
gonna talk
star.
to the manager.
You should go talk to the manager.
One
for
star
sure,
on
yeah.
Google. I need to talk to your manager.
Keep going.
We got a Sway Dog signing, boys. It was Seabass and Sway Dog. They were locked in.
Oh.
It finally happened. Saturday was the day where it got even more complicated than it already had been, because then you have to start messing with the AAV as you're losing days off the calendar. Now he's not their day opening starter. Remember we heard that? It's Corpus.
That's right.
It's the Corp Dog.
Didn't earn it.
Well,
Meritocracy.
to be fair, hasn't made a save in preseason. So I guess Corp Dog took the job from him. It's 8 1/4. Big term. I don't know who won, but boy, it's painful. And
I know who won. The player won.
Okay.
Make no mistake. The player won.
Yeah. Well, and I think the Bruins might have played the biggest role in them losing as well. As soon as
They
you open your
did,
mouth
yeah.
and say you gave 64 when you had, and he's like, well, now I'm not coming for 64. Now I need more than that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about 66? Does that
Yeah.
sound all right?
which is where we
All
ended
right.
up. Yeah.
Fine.
66,
So, yeah,
better than
it's-
64. And look, it's the Bruins are used to getting discounts. Like, when has Marchand, Chara, Pasternak, McAvoy, or Bergeron been wildly overpaid or even close to market?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Like, Pasta was signed a year ago, and he's
He's
making
cheap as chips.
he's like 3 less or 2.5 less than Draisaitl. That's the same box for me.
it's because what is it now? It's the Florida goalie.
Bob.
Then Vasilevsky, then Hellebuck, and then Swayman in that group. 8.2.
44 games. Most he's played in his career. He'll play more than that this year. We'll see what he looks like.
Did you ever get a $4.5 million raise from year to year when you played?
half the games?
Yeah, when you
No.
no,
That's a big jump.
it's nice.
It
Yeah,
is
it would be
nice.
And there was 2 RFA years left. That's why this one was tricky. Because on the open market, he's worth this. This is a fair deal. But guys with 2 years left before they have UFA rights don't get open market deals.
Yeah, none of it matters as long as he plays well.
Yeah, and we expect that he will. And the Bruins, they did what they had to do to try to get the number. I don't think it worked, and they get their goalie anyway.
Is this one of those things where now the next group of goalies? are
Oh,
gonna-
yeah.
Thank you, Sway Dog.
Well,
for-
it's not him. It's Shesterkin. He's in the last year of his deal, and he said he won't negotiate in
Well-
season, and he wants to be a Ranger. I.e., I'm going to go to July 1 and listen to everyone's offer and make you pay me that money.
I just wonder. You feel better about giving Shesterkin that kind of money?
He's proven it.
I just mean for guys that are coming out. How many games have you played? 40,
Yeah.
and you want $9 million? Well, Swayman got it in 24.
Well, what's interesting, I think Ullmark's up in a year. He's in Ottawa. If he has a comparable year to Swayman, like, now is Ottawa going to pay a guy $9 million bucks to play net?
It's a lot of dough.
He won a Vezina when he was there. Swayman didn't.
But as we talked about, is he worth it? Is he? When you don't have a goalie,
Yeah.
it's kind of a kick in the nuts to the rest of the team if the team's good. And I think the Bruins are a very good team. If you're going with Korpisalo or a couple of those,
Yeah.
literally kids that they had, those were the options.
It's goalie, guys.
Pay
Woo!
So
Like,
it is.
you know, you don't have a goalie until you have a goalie, and then even you think you have a goalie, you might not have a goalie.
may not
And
have
when
a
you don't have a
goalie.
goalie, you might have a goalie.
goalie. Then the goalie doesn't show up again.
It's goalie. You let me know when you got to figure it out. Another deal gets done that we knew was going to get done. This one, we were just waiting for someone to get out the abacus. The Leafs are in the weirdest cap thing I've ever seen. I think they're within $1 of the cap, and they put 1 billion guys on LTIR, and it's like there's so many moving pieces here. Trelemmy's got to have like an 8-man department just on how to screw around with the cap. Pacioretty, $873, $873,000 and $770,000. Okay, it's a very precise number. $1.5 million with bonuses, and their games played bonuses, which makes sense for a guy that's lost most of the last 2 years of injury.
There's got to be just some nerd, right? In
No,
all of
there's,
these-
there's a room of nerds.
I'm not sure how we're going to be. Just fucking figure it out. All right.
This is
I don't
what
want to
you
hear any
paid
of this
for.
shit. I just shut up. Just make it work. All
Now,
right.
Bradley, if we put Yarncroc on LTIR and Matt Murray, we get him to retire, and here's the cap savings here. We run with 7D and then just 12 forward.
Yeah. Listen here,
Yeah.
Poindexter. I don't give a shit. Just go figure it out.
Yeah. Hey there, pocket protector. Just let me know when it's done. What's the number?
That's our Brad Treliving impression.
That's a great.
It's clearly how he is.
That's how
He's
he
such a
operates.
jerk.
That's right.
Such a jerk.
No Frank today. You wouldn't tell us why.
Frank is on his way to Utah. I'm guessing for hockey, but there are some things that go on in Utah. I'm not going to say anything. Whatever Frank does, Frank does.
You do
He's
Utah
probably
how
just-
you do Utah.
He's doing a
Frank.
distillery tour, right? That's
What's
what
that?
it is.
What's that, Red?
You do Utah how you do Utah, Frank.
Because I thought it was this. I thought you were upset because he, of course, this is the day every year where he says bookmark it and make fun of me later. Frank's predictions dropped today.
Now, wasn't it last year he liked the Canucks and you crushed him?
No, I mean, he was in town. I just remember it vividly because we were at like the third bar of the night and he won me over on the Canucks. But I was stunned that he was in on them. But by the time the season was ready to puck drop, I'm like, he's made some good points. I think they are
Sorry,
better.
Can I?
But
yes,
he was big on Huberdeau 90 points last year. That was the one I really couldn't
So
get
the
bounce
third
back
bar in, you're talking Vancouver Canucks.
Well, because the bartender, my boy Sarmad's a big Canucks fan. So we had to say hi.
Sarmad,
Yeah, it's
jeez.
a beauty.
And
How's he feel now?
I think they're happy. They want to figure out what's going on with Demko. But, I think they're sneaky good offseason. I think the breast is going to be great.
Fake injury.
What is that? It's not Liz Frank. Remember what the hell we
Yeah,
had?
because Sakaris is on.
We had Sakaris on. It's
That's good, boy.
some
It's a muscle we've never, ever heard of before that's
Yeah.
never been injured in hockey
it's
ever.
the flamalama
Yeah.
tendon in the whoop-de-doo joint that is
It's
really
no good.
no good.
Tender.
So Frank's picked the Oilers to win. Weird him snuggling up to Edmonton, eh?
No,
Oh, yeah, I mean-
After the rough ride he's given them over the last. We'll move along.
Frank can do whatever he wants.
Calgary Hitmen get a big asset back today, friends, as Carter Yakimchuk, the Ottawa Senators' first rounder, was taken before Zane Perrick and the Calgary Flames got to the draft podium. He coming back to Calgary.
Played well, didn't
This
he?
was a guy that was very polarizing, but a lot of the draft nerds were like, there are enough teams that love this guy and have him as a top 3 or 4D in the class. He's not going to get out of the top 10, which is where his consensus sort of spot was. And Ottawa was the team that pulled the trigger. He's big. He's strong. He's an absolute force of nature. And you get one more year to watch it in Calgary because he almost made that team this year.
Well, that's exciting.
Big right-handed shot defenseman.
Yes. Big right hand shot. He's got some Dion vibes to him.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Who was the right shot defenseman?
Solovyov. It's up to his left shot. Him and Kuznetsov got me all messed up. Fuck.
Changes.
Damn it. He's ambidextrous.
Oh, is he? I'm not sure.
Oh, no, he's
Rhett,
already. Rhett's like he's the lefty.
Don't
You're right.
know.
He's
I'm just noticing in this picture.
he
This
sure looks
picture
like
right
a
here.
lefty. Ugh.
Maybe he's crossed over to just stop it along the wall.
By the way, the Medicine Hat Tigers, if you're going to go watch them and play anyone this year,
Yeah, but they
Basha,
haven't been that good yet.
I don't care.
They were 1-2.
McKenna, I'll take the over on whatever you
All
think
right.
they're going to do this year.
Well, I saw when we were talking about Penticton,
Yeah.
Reginald Corbett
Yes.
Fighting
son
all over. He fought again last night.
was back in Medicine Hat, just shooting the old Dukes.
Was he?
And they
Not
got-
a boy, young Nate Corbett.
And then
Is
they
that
got
his name, Nate? I think.
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
so. Maybe short for Nathaniel. I don't know. And then Caden Lidstrom went, 4 to Columbus?
Yeah.
It's a fun team. Let's go.
And they got that other.
Byron Ritchie's brother.
Yeah, he was scrapping the other
Basha?
night. That Andrew
I-
Basha.
God, I love Basha. He's going to be so popular here. Not just because his dad owns the pub I want to drink at all the time. Not just because of that. Like just pace, skill, IQ. Love it.
He owns a really.
Yeah,
No free plugs, Ryan.
Yeah.
If Bash's old man wants some love on here, he'll get it.
The playoffs in baseball, we
come
heard
easy.
about it. Let's check in on the slate. This is our schedule for today.
So Monday afternoon.
Dino walked you through yesterday. We got a Monday doubleheader. 2 of the 4 remaining series are
Yeah, that's
underway.
right.
And our schedule here from our pals at Bet365. Tigers and Guardians. You see the Tigers favored on the road. And the Royals in the Bronx, they are not favored. Rodon against Reagans.
Cole Reagans.
Roger that. Last night, tough one. As the Steelers, who looked so good at 3-0, no good. I'm overrating it. Unless they were in it against Dallas. I just don't know if Dallas is good.
Is it raining?
Yeah, I mean it's raining, and then you gotta they delay
the big delay.
the game, and then you're not ready, and
It takes the wind out of your sails, right, Jack?
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I thought that, Steel Curtain, tough city. Like, is that not a team that likes bad weather? And that the Steelers should thrive in? Run
maybe.
the ball, play defense, bad weather. Yeah.
Jack's awfully quiet over there.
He's grinding over there. I need my graphic.
Oh.
Our internet is going.
So,
do we have the jackometer? Can we do the jackometer? Let's do that. Because 3-2, not a bad record. When you're 3-0 and you're 3-2, Rhett?
not as good.
A little more glass half empty.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
So it started off so great.
Oh my goodness. Did you ever do the
That was a big cliff.
No, RJ's
started from 5 to a 6 to a 7 to an 8.
Didn't he
God, he was
proclaim he was going to be level-headed this year?
He says that every year. He's unable to be level-headed.
Well, I think he kind of
proves,
because remember last Monday we asked him about it. I said, well, I sent the note to RJ right after the game. I'm like, screw this. I'm a 4. And then by the next morning, he was like, maybe I was a little hasty.
Probably should be a 5.
As a 4. So I wonder, Jack, now here we are 5 weeks in. Did it matter how hasty you were a week ago? Because I think you'd be at a 3 today, regardless.
I would be at a 3 regardless today. Everything is just coming crashing down right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. What a horrible game as well. It was so boring. The offense, the first half sucks so bad. I think Najee Harris was their leading receiver, 3 catches for like 30 yards.
They had no one over 35 yards.
The defense had 2 interceptions. They blocked a field goal, fumble recovery, 3 sacks, and they still lose.
Well, I like they had more completions in the first series, like the first drive of the second half, than they did in the entire first half combined. So
where are we at on Justin Fields, your boy?
I'm ready to see Russ.
Oh, that is rock bottom. When you're begging for Russ to cook, it's
they were talking on the broadcast that
it's got to be coming soon.
If this was another win for Fields, then maybe okay, we'll just kind of push that. But Russ says no, everything's good. I think in a week I'll be really ready to go.
He had the eye black going on.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah,
he's the emergency third quarterback, guys. Got to be ready.
Yeah. Be stretching those hips on the plane. Where are they playing next week? Who they got next week?
I think they're in Vegas.
Say at the bottom.
Right there, yeah. Vegas.
Yeah, that's a winnable game. That's a good spot for Russ. He could be.
I mean, look at this. They got the Raiders, the Jets, the Giants.
Commanders are better than everyone thought.
Commanders are really good. I don't know what the Jets are.
Well, the Browns are dog shit. The Bengals.
Look at this run they have in division.
Yeah.
Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns. That's gonna. Season might be over then, Miller, right, Jack?
It'll be fine, Jack. Hang in there, buddy.
Yeah, maybe I just leave it alone. I don't need to keep pile driving them. Let's move on, shall we?
He loves it.
It feels like underdogs are destroying heavily favored teams at an unusual rate this year in the NFL.
Incredible rate, Harry.
Because most survivor pools are done in like 2 weeks this year.
Oh,
yeah.
It's because it is happening that way, fellas. This is from the Action Network. Underdogs of 6 points or more are now 11-8 straight up.
Straight up.
Not against the spread. Straight up, they're above 500. 16-2-1 against the spread. That means out of these 19 times a team has been expected to lose by 6 or more, they've only not covered twice. What? First time since 1960, the dogs of 6 points or more are over 500 through 5 weeks. That's incredible. Best against the spread percentage ever.
Well, I remember that 1960 year.
Good year. Vintage.
Didn't the Bills make it to the 90s?
Buffalo was top 5, so biggest city in this.
Now, are you college football guys? You jump in now and then? Big game this
Oh, yeah. I don't miss it.
Because number 1 Alabama was at Vanderbilt?
Mm-hmm.
And Vanderbilt's in Nashville.
Correct.
I remember getting lost all hammered one night.
Medical facility.
That's where Vanderbilt is. I must not be close to Broadway.
Yes, not anywhere near my hotel.
Lots of good doctors there.
Now, the thing is that when you have a big win in college, good doctors.
Oh, yeah.
Vanderbilt.
Great medical curriculum.
So Did you get some medical assistance?
He needed it.
Go ahead.
They needed no assistance here, fellas. They upset the top team in the country. Vanderbilt wins. So what you do, you tear down the goalposts, right?
Sure you do, yeah.
But then you take them somewhere. How about 3 fucking miles down Broadway to the Titans Stadium? They marched this thing for an hour down through Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful stuff.
Cops are getting people out of the way.
Hey, Mike, look at this police escort. Look at this. Oh, imagine being on the roof of Tootsie's, cheering them on as they walk by. Right?
That is not the Flames in December. Look at how wound up they are.
How could you not be?
College
You
ball.
just beat Bama.
Well,
And it's not just a.
I'm not trying to
Yeah.
downplay it. I hear you. That's a big deal, but
And the other thing is too, it's a lot of young dumb dudes here. Right?
Oh, yeah, it's college. Let's be clear on who this is. Yeah. These aren't the doctors, right? These are the
This is-
Lukens.
this is not
And
right.
then
Yeah, in the river. Let's
dumped
go.
it in the river.
And the Titan Stadium, I think, is right across the field. Or it's right there. Yeah. Beautiful. Pretty good, guys. Pretty good. I think they'll be happy to erect new field goal poles.
What would I can't even
Uprights.
think of if the cavalry won.
I was just going to say, we talk about American fans and the crowds, and then you take college football. The cops were in on all the whole, like you say.
Yes. Well, they realized they couldn't
Once-
stop
yeah,
it. But
probably.
they're also, I'll bet you 80% of those cops were like, "You're damn right, we're doing this."
There'd be
Screw
some-
Bama.
There'd be some cops there. Their
Hate
kids would be
Alabama.
in the mob.
Yes.
It's safety in numbers. If 2 people try to do this, you get arrested. When it's 2,000, you get an escort.
I don't give a shit what happens. It ain't happening up here.
No, it ain't.
I don't know that. Yeah.
I just wonder, do you think there are any open containers of liquor or anything?
Now they wouldn't let you drink in the stadiums before. That changed though over the last.
I
year
think
or
school
two.
to school, it totally changes.
Mm.
Some conferences, some schools are no booze at all. Other ones are like, come early and drink for cheaper money. It's totally school to school. How much do you like clean up vomit is really the question you have to ask yourself as a university.
Congrats to Vanderbilt, though, eh?
Big
Sure.
win, Dean.
Big win, guys.
Huge.
Yeah.
Let's get moving. CFL. God, we love our 3-down football
Sure do.
in Alberta,
They tear
where for
down
the
any-
first time since 1945,
In fairness, if they started tearing shit down at McMahon, no one would stop.
No, I would go.
Are you
over
guys
and
on the working crew?
Mhm.
You need to put
I'll
on.
help out.
Do you have a vest? Because
Yeah.
safety.
Give me a
first.
hard hat and some boots. I'm in.
Those uprights are cemented in. So cement was poured in 1930.
It's not nice.
Yeah,
It's a tough time for the Stamps. They
it
don't need
is.
us.
And honestly, T's and P's to our boy Dave Dickinson.
Don't you worry, Dave. We got your back.
I part of me feels like if Dave Dickinson was GM, head coach, and quarterback, they wouldn't be in the spot.
No.
If you can read between the
If
lines.
they cared as much as Dave,
I'm on Team Dave.
Team Dave as well.
Team Dave.
You're asked about the Cavs. Let's
Was
check in Pacific. Victoria on the weekend. Big game. Tied 1-1. It's 10 second half.
That's nice for field, infield,
This
and
little
Herdman
touch.
in a lone bound.
Played soccer before?
The goal drought is over.
Bias Warshevsky boys, first of 2, 4-1. They hang a crooked number. 4-1. And that keeper with the police sergeant mustache, a lot of yelling at his defense on Sunday.
And the size schmedium shirt there.
Yeah. That's first of 2 for Warshevsky. Wright got his first as a member of the Cavs, and they are now second place, fellas.
no, that's a buy.
Remember we told you the top 2? Well, here's the thing. We always make fun of the CFL because they don't know how to do a bracket. The CPL understands how to do a bracket. They just made the craziest fucking bracket we've ever seen in our lives.
All right,
So on the bottom of your screen, 4th and 5th, this is if it started today. No, it isn't today. 'cause
It's not today.
2 weeks left. But
not.
York would play Vancouver. The winner would go to play Ottawa. And the top 2 teams in the entire league, Forge and Cavalry, would play each other right away. Winner, shortcut to the final. Loser, right to the semis. So you want it to be top 2 because you can lose and still get there. Anyone else in the bottom half, you lose, your season's over.
Double elimination.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
Good
if you-
job, Cavs.
So
Tommy.
now,
Yeah.
but Ottawa can still catch Cavalry, right?
Yes, and the Cavs
So-
can't catch Forge. Forge have secured the Shield. They've captured top spot. But 2 weeks to go, and the Cavs rolling. Ottawa only 2 wins their last 12 contests.
Oh,
A lot of draws in there. Cavs getting hot at the right time. Let's go, Tommy.
So with that in mind, I feel like they're kind of top of the table because they can't catch Forge for what's mathematically available to them today.
Yeah.
They're top of the table.
I would say last year you won the regular season and you lost to Forge in the final.
Right.
little roll.
Little roll reversal this year.
I'm down.
And again, there's 2 tickets to all this CONCACAF Champions League and all the big tournaments. You win the regular season, you're into those international events, and you win the playoffs, you're in. So Forge has got their ticket with the regular season as the Cavs did last year. One ticket left for the winner of the playoffs. Go Cavs. Let's go.
You hate Forge, too.
Stinking Forge.
Yeah.
Bobby Smearnitis, I don't know. Don't like it at all. Always fighting, saying mean things. Hamilton stinks.
Ignorant.
Ignorant. Let's move. Finally, a couple things, Rhett. I got this video from your fishing trip. I didn't, probably because I was out of town. I usually get invites, although you guys never invite me to fish. But you and Dean aren't afraid to go fishing. Look at this. Look at the catch here. Where were you fish?
That's from Flint, Michigan.
Gee, Rhett. Did you throw it back, or you don't eat that, right?
Oh, I don't even like to see that. It's not supposed to look like that.
It's not supposed to look like that.
Two mouths, 4 eyes.
I wouldn't touch it.
Remember Springfield? Bart caught the fish with 3 eyes by the power plant.
Yeah.
Then they had to eat it or something. It's quivering fork. Is it Montgomery Burns, maybe? Interesting. And Dean, I was checking in, watching highlights, and you're wearing a hat today, but you don't need to be ashamed of your new hair.
Right.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good hair.
Hell.
Looks like there's
get out of the water.
Better rinse a couple times, Dean, if you don't mind.
Well, it's kind of like you need that shampoo, right?
Yeah, you need special shampoo.
Scraps,
or do
you gotta
just shave?
At this point,
what is that a shampoo? What is it called?
Down to the wood.
Right.
That's your Pinder Report on a Monday, fellas.
Village Honda, huge selection of used vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets, 90 units on site, access to more than 500 more inside the dealership group. It's the Wood Automotive Group. It's what makes them special. You can go, what we're not really seeing here today on the lot. Well, come on in, have a seat. We're going to take a look at the entire dealership group, and they're going to find what it is you're looking for. They're worth the trip. It's Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Good stuff there.
Yeah, it is. The end. Pick up the Cavs.
Yeah. I kind of when we were talking about football, I kind of forgot about this one. There's a I guess it's an X account now.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't know. Do you know a lot of modern art or just art in general? Are you a aficionado or?
Yeah, I'm more of a Legite, like I said.
Right, you're more of a Legite for sure. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm assuming it's a sports fan of some sort, but there's a guy, a girl, somebody on Twitter,
an art nut,
who loves art and loves sports, and sometimes there will be a sequence of events or a picture or a still shot that will remind this person or these people, oh, that looks like this art piece from back in 1329 by a certain artist.
That's good year.
Tough day for Aaron Rodgers yesterday. He was crawling around. There he is getting buckled. Can we go any bigger on that? Because it is crazy. I mean,
splendid.
The arm is down, the head's cocked back. What is it? The raft of the Medusa from 1819. So there again, if you're big into the arts, which I know you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna be now.
Yeah. Aaron looked 40 yesterday.
I look like 50, but yeah.
Yeah, it was it's still everybody else's fault though, eh? It's a lot of arms up in the air, and why were you doing?
What's he supposed to do there?
Well, not so much there.
Yeah, that
maybe
one's not his fault.
Better protection, maybe. I'm not sure.
But you're right. He's not afraid to mean mug Garrett Wilson on a incompletion, right?
Yeah, 3 interceptions yesterday. None of them his fault, based on reaction.
And I recall the Thursday nighter a few weeks ago, we had a Garrett Wilson receptions prop that Aaron had locked in until he missed him wide open 3 times in the second half.
Sometimes you got to send a message to receivers.
The message sent yesterday is he might not be elite anymore. Not the receiver.
Might not. The message might be go pick up Joe Flacco.
And the thing of it is, like it's that London game.
Yeah.
So 7:30 start here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a testament to how bad football has to be before you won't watch it.
Yeah.
This game is no good.
Yeah.
Do something else. What else am I gonna do?
No, I got breakfast here.
Sunday morning. It's 9 a.m.
Kids are sleeping.
What else is a person supposed to be doing?
Coffee still.
Exercising, getting jobs done around the house, going outside. Sit here and watch Sam Darnold also look kind of crappy. He was not great yesterday either, but
he's not. Guaranteed MVP?
No.
Oh,
No. not
That
so
team's
much.
good though.
No. not
That
so
team's
much.
good though.
The team is good. The elite, the defense is real good.
Yeah.
The defense.
I don't know that we have that on the bingo card. They had a really, really, really tough start to the schedule. They've beaten the Niners. They've beat some good teams here.
There's a lot of.
And now they get to Powder Puff land here on the skid.
It's like, are the Niners any good?
1-4.
not without McCaffrey.
Ravens look really good, but then there was those games where they
They didn't look
shit
good.
themselves and blew leads and
They
stuff.
0-3.
We're at week 5. We don't really know much. And then the Kansas City, they must be really good. You're like, ooh, I really don't like what I'm seeing there.
They win.
They're undefeated. God, they look scary.
Yeah, we'll talk
that
about
goes
them.
tonight.
There was one other thing, and now it's the what are they? The mosh pit, the little season ticket holder event that the Flames had. It's like a there's
It's a little hot stove thing.
It's about because they use flames and fire in that,
Was it? What was
and
it
it's a
called?
tie-in.
Fireside?
The fire pit, something like that.
I saw a hat. I forget. I was there.
Were you really?
Yeah.
What day was that? Friday?
You
Saturday afternoon.
Really? Were you on the mic? Were you making
No, I
witty
didn't
comments?
get to go there. I was on the concourse,
I see.
smiling and
Shaking hands.
shaking hands,
Kissing babies.
kissing babies.
Mustache rides
Mhm.
for
Sit beside two donkeys with Stanley Cup rings.
they wear those out all the time, eh?
Well, the one idiot had them both sitting on the table. Just
Had them sitting on the table?
Yeah,
Plural.
You had two of them?
So you could have like grabbed one if you wanted.
I
or-
was trying to tell every kid that walked by, just
take it. Yeah. He's got a ton of these at
He's
home.
got a bag full of them right here. Go
He's
ahead.
got like-
apparently they don't mean anything to him. They're just leaving them sit there.
So Andrei Kuzmenko is a unique dude. Going back to last year's guy seems like a funny guy. Seems very fun, very unique. And this is Brendan Parker from the Flames TV, kind of doing throwing the questions at the guys on the dais. And here's Andrei Kuzmenko. God, don't you love this guy?
If you could choose one of your teammates to be a partner in a 2v2, 2-on-2 street hockey game, choose one teammate, who would it be and why?
I want to take two players. Because
it's 2-on-2, then you
Yeah, I know, but it's a half on half, you know? I want to take two players. Is every shift on ice, always open. It's a Kuzi pass to me, Kuzi pass to me. This just two players. First players, Nazem Kadri, always open, always open. Kuzi, why you don't pass to me? I'm after every shift, sorry, Naz. My mistake, I understand. But Naz have a couple of passes in my season, yes. But I have a big problem about Rasmus Anderson. 0 passes. I to Rasmus. Rasmus don't like me. Every game. Kuzi, why you don't pass to me? I don't know. Yes, but two players. Huberdeau is very high skill. Yes, probably, yeah. Maybe Weeks. Weeks is nice shot, but 0-time shot on the blue line. I don't know what's happened. And then. Oh, I think after my talk is very bad problem, yeah? In locker room.
The hole
Sorry,
is getting
boys,
deeper
before,
for
yeah.
sure.
And Wombi, yes, I take is very high level, very strong. Oh, after amazing body. Okay, he's done.
Pick one guy.
Yeah.
Poor Paul. Look at him. He's just, I'm embarrassed standing next to this guy.
I
Trying to make the team here.
I got even more time than I did before. I kind of liked him in the first place. He grew on me, and now sign the guy. Sign him.
Total goof.
How long could you sign him? 8 years? Is that what
Yeah, I
you can
think
do?
8, Dean.
Oh,
Get it done.
How many first rounders did you get for?
No, you can't trade him.
Why would you trade him? What are you talking
You need
about?
guys like that.
Fun in the room.
You need those guys.
Dean, what you do then? You trade him at the deadline and then you re-sign him for agency.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, they're making the playoffs. They're underdogs.
But then I'm worried he's going to go into that locker room, and they're going to fall in love with him,
Well,
win some games, and then
I don't know. You have to worry about Rick Tocchet falling in love.
no.
grumpy old bugger.
He is a grumpy old bugger.
He's a good coach, but he is a grumpy old bugger. This is one of a few of those guys that worked well here.
Grumpy coaches.
Grumpy old buggers.
Yeah.
That are good coaches.
Yeah.
I know. I tried Kings Michael. Sorry. When are you going to be good? And how old is he?
Luckily, we got
can always rely on Ryan to
Joe.
Take it right. Be the fun sucker and just take it right back to yes. But what's his XQR?
Well, when you're at the third bar with Frank, you're still
talking about
berating, debating the Vancouver Canucks and their season. But
Thatcher Demko's knee is not 100%.
I'm going to win this argument.
Yes, but Philip Hronek they paid too much for Hronek and the
Now that Myers is slotted properly,
yeah, something like that. You mean you don't go out and have a bunch of beers and drinks with guys and really get into deep hockey talk?
Hours and hours of it. Hours. I mean, they watch me on
now that he's slotted correctly.
Exactly. I think they'll be good again this year, Canucks.
Okay, good.
They go out on a limb. Now wait.
And to go out on a limb would say they'll win the division.
I feel like you said again, like you said they were going to be good last year. Or do you mean?
No, they were good last year.
Just that they were good, and again
they surprised everyone last year, except Frank apparently.
Except Frank.
Yeah. And Huberdeau surprised Frank, but nobody else last year.
That's true. Yeah, there was very little shock with how that played out, except in the Seravalli household.
Right.
I guess.
I got to read that article. It's apparently he's got some crazy Frank bombs in there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Are any
very bullish on Columbus? I think.
Does he have any top 5 lists?
That's my idea.
What?
I'm going to do a top 5 thing. I think.
Are you?
Top 5 what?
I don't know.
Let me know when it's ready, and we'll break it out.
You guys ever
RJ, can you build some graphics for top 5 things? Top 5 things.
It's new. It hasn't been done before, but I think I'm going to go with it.
Right. So what is it?
It's a top 5.
Top 5.
So it's a list of 5 items.
5 things. Listen, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
And are they all alike? Are they different? Are they? Does it?
Well, it depends on what I do.
Right.
Like, is it the top 5 vegetables that start with the letter C?
I don't eat vegetables.
Cauliflower.
Do they get better as you go? Is 5 better than 1? Or
1 is
one's primo?
Yeah.
And then would you start at 5 and get closer? Or do you go what best to
doesn't
worst?
matter. It's the top 5.
I can't wait for that. That sounds great.
Because 6th places.
Yeah. No, what are you doing? 4?
No. Bless you, Dean.
I'm wound up. See, like I'm
excited for that.
Is that
so excited?
That was, you know what?
Top
that
5
was
seed?
weak.
That was
actually
that was a 5, not a 1.
I don't even know that cracks the top 5.
No, it sure doesn't. It definitely doesn't. Hearing Loss Clinic, they're back with Barn Burner for another hockey season. Love to have them. Locally owned and operated. Rhodesy and his staff. It's not about come in, hearing loss, and parable check. It's about empowering everyone to be more socially active, more connected with loved ones, confident in every aspect of their life. When you struggle with hearing, it's just, I think it's, I don't want to go because I can't really understand what people are saying. It makes me
uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. I'd just rather not. And it seems silly just because of hearing issues. And especially for kids, you're in a classroom, you're in the playground. It can be really tough on kids. And hearing loss happens to people of all ages, and studies show health risks like dementia, depression, others linked to untreated hearing loss. They have 5 locations in Calgary. Now, they opened the new one in the last year over. It's the Chinook location.
Ooh.
You know where the it's called Chinook Mall.
No. It's called Chinook Center.
The Chinook Mall.
The big place?
Yeah, the big one there.
Where? I don't know.
There's McLeod something, and then Glenmore something.
Well, McLeod runs north-south.
Yeah. And then the other one.
South end of town, would you say?
Used to be.
Yeah, maybe.
Pretty central.
Well,
now.
south
more
of downtown.
So you know where the Chinook Mall is?
Yeah, I do.
Here's a saying. Kitty corner.
Ah.
Kitty corner.
I've seen it. I see it all the time. I'm driving by there all the time.
Right in there, new location. So that's 5 in the city of Calgary.
Top 5. Top 5 hearing loss.
What's your top?
What's your top?
I haven't been to them all. I've been to the one way down south, and it was great.
Yeah, Rhodesy wants to sponsor the top 5.
Wow, that was quick.
Just
right?
Thanks, Rosie.
And then 5 more locations in BC: Cranbrook, Creston, Fernie, Golden, and Invermere.
What's your top 5 in BC?
Right, it's good. Now that's 10 total.
It's BC
but
top
are we
5.
gonna-
Did you
Alberta top
name
5.
all the 5 cities? We could start right now.
In BC?
Yeah, hit it.
One more time.
Cranbrook, Creston, Fernie, Golden, and Invermere.
Fernie?
5 or 1?
1.
Oh, go
back
back
the other way.
Get back. Yeah.
Creston.
Yeah.
So Creston shit.
No,
Creston?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Cranbrook.
Fernie, Golden, Invermere.
Golden. Pinder's going to be mad. I'm going Invermere Fernie.
Tough to argue that.
Ryan, if you were to assess his top 5,
He is a savant at top 5s, and there is no room to quibble.
Thank you, Ryan.
yeah,
It's in stone.
You're hardly one to quibble.
I can't. It's top 5.
You're not a quibbler.
He would quibble if he could, and he could.
It's a perfect list.
Yeah.
Rhett does not mess up top 5s.
It's a no-can quibble zone. Here, helping you hear better is simply their way of helping you live better. Book an assessment today. Hearingloss.ca.
It's AQZ, the anti-quibble zone.
That's right.
Z or Z?
You're in Canada?
I don't.
Right
which
now.
is which?
Z.
Z up here?
Yeah.
You know what it'll get you though is if you're doing like crosswords or something, and the answer is it's like from A to blank or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Z. Well, that doesn't fit. This New York Times crossword.
Yeah.
Using the Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Stinking Yankees.
Oh, yeah, because it's the Times. It's in New York.
To know you're a big cross word guy.
Oh,
I am
every
I
morning.
thought you're more
every
of a
day.
research guy.
Wordle. Do the mini, the Wordle, connections.
Global. We've got into a thing called global with the boys.
Global.
It's geographically
It's international.
incorrect.
Strands. Have you ever done strands on?
I try to stay off my phone.
I don't have any games on my phone.
Yeah, get the.
Too distracting.
They got the crossword. The spelling bee is eh. Wordle's awesome. The connections is great.
Yeah.
Love connections.
You got to find the correlation of all the words.
Yeah. Sometimes it's real tricky. One time it was Mariah Carey albums. Well, how the heck am I supposed to know?
But you did know.
But you're a disc
But
jockey.
I knew some of the other ones, and you break it down, and there's 4 left. So, well, clearly these 4 are the last 4, and they're connected. What could it
You were a disc jockey. Of course you know Mariah.
I didn't
Carey.
spin a lot of Mariah, although I'll warn you,
Christmas?
get ready.
Yeah. It's Mariah month.
I saw
months
a
away.
thing on it was like her being thawed out from a block of ice. Like
Yeah.
they're getting her ready.
Yeah, she comes out of the cryogenic.
Get ready,
freezer.
everybody.
Yeah. She's right next to Ted Williams, and they just
That's
thaw
right.
her every November 30. So she's
Yeah.
ready on the 1st.
So speaking of
Eh,
parties
Yeah.
and festive seasons,
We sure were.
Halloween.
What about it?
Are we gonna?
well, I'm the only one that dressed up last year.
I know you look like an ass, but
Yeah.
like if we all dressed up, you wouldn't look so bad. Are we having that party? Like, look at this room now. It's set
Yeah,
up
we
for a
can party.
party.
Shoot a Halloween party.
We were saying we got the Christmas deal. It's set up better in here for that.
I think behind Pinder, we should put up some Halloween decorations.
We can do whatever we want.
Joey
Same.
Wong, my neighbor, was putting up the Halloween decorations yesterday.
Just don't open it. Just because some beers have come falling out.
You said party. You let me have beer now?
Well, not today.
It's Halloween.
Halloween. I will say this though, and this is a public service announcement
Yeah.
to mildly fat guys to obese guys out there. Which camera is this one here? Be careful.
I know what he's going to say.
It's October 7th.
Oh.
And I can speak from experience. I was at a establishment the other day buying groceries, and they had, of course, all of the Halloween candies are out. I know I've got an event this week, or I'm going away this weekend, and life's busy. Why don't I I'm just going to buy all of the Halloween stuff, and then it's just done.
Right.
We don't need to worry about it in the days leading up, because who knows how busy you
You're
will
a
get.
prepper.
God, you're prepared.
Be careful. If you buy your Halloween candy, goodies, treats in advance, they're in your house. And I can tell you a year ago is when my life went sideways. I was doing rather well. There was some mild fitness taking place, an attempt to eat somewhat responsibly. But then prior to Halloween, and then there were the chocolate bars and that
it's kind of a
leftover
kickoff
afterwards.
season.
Because you get them early, then they're round, then the night happens, then you get
Exactly.
the leftover, the kids got a bunch
And
lying
the thing
around.
is, afterwards, you're not saving them now for anything. There's maybe some guilt. Well, I bought these for the kids. I don't want to run out on Halloween night. Once Halloween comes and goes, you have extra. Well,
freebies.
got to go somewhere. They
Those
may
are
as well go right to my fucking gut.
Mm.
Be careful.
Do you have a concept of a plan for?
Nope.
Because you also got Thanksgiving in there too.
Well, and that's it started yesterday because we did a big dinner yesterday, and then there's this weekend, and then there's Halloween, and then we're jumping on American Thanksgiving now because that's we're just totally stealing that.
Yeah, it's got too much football not for us to engage in that. Yeah.
So just take care, added care and caution this time of year.
A lockbox,
I guess, something. But being the adult in the house, you're probably the one that's going to be locking them up.
I wonder if you could get something like on your app where it just won't unlock until.
Maybe. Or you could just
not buy
them, or just be a friggin' man and not eat
man up,
5 full-size chocolate bars.
Just housing Butterfingers.
Which are impossible to walk away from. I know you don't like the Reese's.
You can't start.
He doesn't like the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I'm not. I like the pieces. I don't like the Reese's.
You know what? We're going to be right into another top 5.
I need a top 5 list.
I told you this.
Jack, great. Jack, hit the intro. Our the top 5.
RJ, is that graphic done yet? 2 minutes.
Well, we'll do it because every time we do this, remember you guys did those
candy brackets?
Candy bracket and the chip bracket. That was great. What'd you think of our Flames analysis? I don't know. Whatever.
Oh God!
But I just can't believe the Coke bottles won the candy draft.
I really thought the Blue Whales had it.
It's good to know what we're doing makes a difference.
Yeah.
We're making a difference every single
waves,
day.
Dean.
Yeah, we sure are. So 2 baseball games and a football game tonight as we get into our Bet 365. You want to talk about it? It is the New Orleans Saints in Kansas City.
Chefs.
Kansas City, here I come. Reds top.
There it is. See?
There it is.
How good is that? Reds tough.
And go. We'll maybe.
Bills, Steelers, Bears, Chargers. Who's your team, RJ?
The Seahawks. RJ picked the Seahawks Saturday morning.
Did you force him?
No, he just. I don't have a team. I'll just.
Old colors or the new colors?
I like the blue and the green. He likes blue and green.
The neon green or the old green? We'll talk about it.
You need. He's way over there. We can't.
Is it the Kelly green or the
no? Because those the John Kitna, Ricky Waters, we suck Seahawks had great uniforms, and the Marshawn Lynch neon it feels like a trend.
Yeah, I didn't like Hasselbeck when he was in Green Bay though, when he said, "We're going to take the ball. We're going to score.
Take the ball. We're going to win."
No, you're not.
Incorrect.
You're not going to do it. So yeah, it's the Kansas City. I'm going to say Chiefs.
Yes,
and the New Orleans Saints. The line is 5.5 plus 5.5 for the New Orleans Saints.
Make things happen here.
Saints have been. They're one of those things. As soon as you think you got them kind of figured out, they stick it to you. It doesn't go well. Remember, they had in weeks 1 and 2, incredible offense, and then I think it was week 3 they completely did nothing, and then last week they had the Falcons in a game that they probably should have won, and then didn't, if I remember that correctly. How that went.
They were doing a lot of pre-snap motion in weeks 1 and 2, and they just stopped doing it and have looked mid since.
I don't know why you do it, and I don't know mid, but
that's the middle. It's not top 5; it's middle 5. It's not bottom 5, not top 5, mid 5.
Maybe
no.
You do bottom 5. I'll do mid 5.
You guys are so top 5. Unoriginal.
What are you talking about? It's a great idea.
That's right.
Terrible.
I'll Bet 365. It's the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet 365 today. You can bet on a huge range of markets. Download the app. Use the promo code FN bonus when you sign up. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet 365. I can't touch the line. It feels like it. That's about right.
Yeah, Vegas
Chiefs don't really cover a ton even when they're winning.
Yeah.
But if you go against Mahomes,
he's going to have the ball
he's
down.
going to have an unbelievable day. So here's what I'm going with.
Oh.
Chris Jones of the Chiefs to record a sack, had 2 last week.
It's real good
against Herbert. He's very good.
Disruptive player.
Guys are being injured at an incredible pace for the Chiefs. Kelsey, week 1 had 34. This is receiving yards. 34. Week 2, he had 5. Week 3, 30. So now Rice is gone. Pacheco's gone. And what do they got there now? It's Worthy and
Juju Smith-Schuster
and Juju.
Juju
Watson. Ugh,
he had 89 last week.
Usage.
Once the so I'm going to say, yeah, let's go. Feed Kelsey over 58.5. And Chris Olave has had 80 plus in each of the last 3 weeks for receiving yards. Get 60 or more. I'll take the Olave receiving prop.
Who's he play for?
That's
the
a
Saints.
Saints receiver.
I don't want him catching the ball. I got the other guy.
Rashid Shaheed?
Yes.
Oh, Rashid Shaheed.
He's got to get 100 points.
It's a greater need. And all that speed. Okay. I'm going some hockey futures, boys.
Yeah, all right.
Here's the thing. I don't want you to miss on this because the season's going to start tomorrow. And a lot of these futures bets, you can bet on guys to get 30 goals. Am I crazy thinking Andrei Kuzmenko at plus 225 to get 30 is just not priced properly?
All this stuff starts tomorrow.
Regular season, not in Europe, starts tomorrow.
Oh, we got to do a lot of this tomorrow.
And then Jake DeBrusk, 27 goals, a career high. That in less than a full season a couple of years ago with the Bruins. Coveted, going to play with Elias Pettersson in Vancouver in the top 6. They love him. The fit should be good. He hits 30 plus 400. Big game hunting, Dino. Don't sleep on those futures. Lots in there.
I'm going to, yes.
Bet365 is the best of this. Just miles of like futures bets you can make.
What do you see there, Retro? Because I know now, see, you're.
Well, I was just pulling some stuff up here.
You're engaged.
I'm going to have a top 5 tomorrow.
Right.
Are you going to have? Well, if we got the intro.
We have a graphic. We don't. I need music.
What kind of music do you want?
Did you pay for that stuff?
No, not yet. Should I?
Cheap bastard.
Well, I feel like it's.
Somebody else paid for something for us to use. We should probably
Is it on
look at
me
that.
to pay for that? I thought maybe.
I don't know. I can't. There's too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
Saints are going to win tonight.
Wow.
By 5.5?
Yep.
How many touchdowns for
Rashid Shaheed? 2.
Rashid Shaheed? Double house call. And does the winner of the game, they get Devontae Adams? Is that how it works?
I'm not sure how that
distracted.
works. No, we could go and find on the 365 app what multiple touchdowns. If Shaheed's getting 2, you should really cash in because those I would think
I can dig that up real quick.
Multiple touchdowns for Shaheed. You may never have to work again.
No.
You'd still do this?
I love what I do.
Yeah, it's a labor of love.
It's a passion of mine.
It is.
That's why I'm here. I got a new thing called the top 5.
Yeah, it's huge.
So the top 5 is how often is
whenever it's needed. It's there, right?
Right. Like once a week, if you were to ballpark it?
Well, there's 5 days in a week, Dean. So
every day.
Plus 2,200 for Rashid Shaheed for
oh my goodness.
2,200.
Bucket.
Woo!
Pinder.
There's big game hunting.
That is big game hunting.
Holy. Watch it hit too. Forgot to make the bet.
You have to do it now, don't you?
I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
You need to do it.
And you know what's happening now? Waivers are coming. The Calgary Flames have lost a player on waivers today, friends.
Yes, they have.
Cole Schwindt claimed by the Vegas Golden Knights.
RJ is in disbelief.
And I don't know if there's more coming.
It's coming out as we speak. So yeah, Cole Schwindt did not see that coming. So Yuri Patera, the goaltender, was a Canuck. Remember one of the preseason games they played against the Flames? He was the netminder. Got picked by Boston because they didn't have a goalie. Now they got a goalie. Put him on waivers. Vancouver says, "Yeah, we'll take him back." So Yuri Patera is on his way back to Vancouver.
Well, they love each other, Vancouver and Boston.
Yeah,
they get along great. So I'm sure
Sure
they just
do.
backdoor deal. Everyone else clears. Aston Reese goes to Columbus, Patera to Vancouver, Lavoie of the Oilers and Schwindt of the Flames both going to Vegas, and Reimer goes to Anaheim.
Pelcher's terrible.
Best case scenario is playing out lovely for the Calgary Flames.
Unless Cole Schwindt turns into a 20-goal guy.
I have less concern about that than Jacob Pelche.
So question then.
Connie just genius brand this whole thing.
No, I just from Vegas. So you took Schwindt. You took a player.
Yeah. They're pretty different. If you need a 4th or 5th center, that can be Cole Schwindt. If you like him. There's the Flames really liked him when they got him in the deal for Tkachuk. I don't know that I've seen a lot that I've loved. He's had some good play in the American League. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Whatever.
What's standing out to me is that our opinion of Pelche is way too high.
I think what it is, again, it was
It's
just
the first round tag is all it is. We all know
it was just
one of the
the
best
asset.
13 forwards. It's just
he was
yeah.
not better than any of the guys that we have on that penciled in roster. And
he's a first rounder that
yeah.
clearly the rest of the league doesn't value.
I wonder how Pelche feels.
Well,
this is the wake up call and
there's a
back to
little
work.
egg on your face,
Right? It's a bit of a, not only were you put on waivers, now the league said, we're good. Right?
Yep.
Once we got Schwint, we didn't need any other.
When Cole Schwint's out there.
Reading the list. Schwint, just stop right there.
Yeah.
Bidding war.
Well, there you go. So, yeah, if you want to, now if you're still listening, or if you're just, I feel like I just tell people, don't bother listening to the first hour of the podcast.
30
it's still
minutes.
kind of
there's so much good stuff.
much ado about nothing now.
Yeah. You'd miss top 5.
Yeah.
That would be tough.
I do feel bad because if you do turn on the we never really thought
had
about
a
that,
top
right?
5 teams that Pelche could have went to.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't wait for top 5 tomorrow. It's gonna be good.
Yep, me too. Me too.
When people get behind this top 5 and I get t-shirts made, I'm not giving you one.
Come on. I'm not against the top 5.
Are absolutely RJ? Yeah. Are they being nice to me?
No, they're being really mean.
That's not true at all.
I think it could be a top 5 segment if things pan out.
Let's go.
See ya.
That'll do it.
Push the damn button.
Does he have the button? He's got the button. All right, see you, buddies.